Hello everyone and welcome to another Sovereign Citizen Watch. How's it going? So today you voted on witch outfit. Here's the thing, I can't find my witch costume. So this is the closest I could approximate, and I'm gonna slap a witch costume day at the very end. So this is kind of like a half costume and that it's witchy. But my actual witch, like, torso costume dress, I don't know where it is. So this is approximating witch for costume day. I'm going to find the rest of it later tonight, and you will get a full witch day at the very end. I apologize for that. Just wanted to address that before we get into it. So, the top is nice, I agree. It's a nice top for a bottom. I see we're on a hype train, 4% to level 2. Woo! If you're on YouTube, do me a favor and like the stream, I'd appreciate it. Hi, Royal Ann. How's it going? The computer's, great, by the way. It's working awesome. DM Trey, thanks for gifting a sub to Phoenix2250. PK the Lost, thanks for 41 months. Jay says, Glenn? Glenn indeed. It's been long enough, I might need to explain Glenn to some people. Skifazoa, thanks for 100 bits. Aaliyah Explores, thanks for 37 months. Much, much appreciated. Aaliyah, thanks for gifting a sub. 4% to level 2. So anyway, the makeup makes up for it. This is just normal makeup. I just wore purple and purple. Soft sits, great background for a beach day. Ooh, fun! I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful beach day. That's incorrect. Seems to have reset my stream notifications. I'll have to fix that later. So sorry about that. Someone gift Halloween Town a sub. Halloween Town is the hardest working mod on Twitch, gosh darn it. So anyway, let's go ahead and get into it. What are Boxy's pronouns today? They, them. They, them pronouns. Starry Night, thank you for gifting a sub, paying forward the one you got from Anonymous. Thank you for gifting it to Halloween Town. There you go. No ads for the bestest mod, other than my wife. That's legal. It's legally binding. Okay, that seemed to work. Interesting. Tea Time Tea, thank you for gifting a sub, 48% to level 2. While that's going on, let's watch this court video. Will Glenn be able to break Chilie out? I'm not sure if Glenn could break out of a Chuck E. Cheese if he got locked inside. I'd watch that movie. Five Nights at Freddy's, basically. But with Glenn? Yeah. Hey, Cruelty, how's it going?
All right, Judge, he's on his way up. For your edification, this was a plea that we entered in front of Judge Angelini for 10 defer.
Oh, no, I remember.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna fill you in on what's going on there today.
All right, what's happening today?
So I asked the DA if he would be willing to consider the 10 deferred. He said, let me think about it. We did enter the plea fully and officially on the 4 silent. Mr. Hernandez then tells me he wants me to put in a motion to dismiss for prejudice, and I told him there is no such thing because, you know, judges bust plea bargains all the time. That doesn't give you a right to dismiss. And so then he says, well, he wants a jury trial. And I said, well, we have entered the plea on the 4 silent, so the judge may or may not allow you to withdraw your plea. And then that's what he wants to speak to you about.
Hold on, I have another witchy thing I could put on. Where's my talisman? This counts. This counts. There, if anyone can tell me what movie this is from, you get a point of respect.
All right. All right, we can go on the record.
Yes, ma'am. I just didn't understand what I was signing and.
Excuse
She
me.
hasn't
I'm
started
sorry.
yet.
I'm sorry.
All right, and let me stop you right there. All this thing where people say they don't understand what they were signing, based upon what is the information that I've received, that first it was 10 years deferred and the judge
Bring
denied
up to
it,
the camera.
and then it came back to a silent offer. Yeah, everybody understood. Court is calling 2023 CR 10221, State of Texas versus Joe Hernandez. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Daniel Escobar for the state of Texas.
For the defense?
Suzanne Kramer.
It's from the
All right,
sect.
and are you Mr. Hernandez?
Yes,
From the
ma'am.
sect.
All right, a plea was entered in this case on, let me see what date is.
Razor Sharp Gaming, thank you for 17 months. Appreciate it.
Here,
Thank you for the hype train, everyone.
April 22nd, 2024. According to the plea bargain agreement, punishments to be assessed at 4 years in the prison. There's a $1,500 fine, and the state is silent on the defendant's application. All right, with regards to the plea bargain
Okay, I'll
agreement,
have to check it out, Ferris Hex.
the court, of course, does not have the PSI because we're coming back. Can someone tell me what his criminal history is?
Judge, I don't have a file on me.
Basically, I could be off on this, but my memory is some minor misdemeanors and no felony convictions.
Mhm. So counsel, do you wish to have
True
a
old
PSI
fact.
done? Or do you wish the court to make its ruling?
Honestly, Judge, based on his criminal history, and of course, you don't have
I
the
just want that clip of honestly, Judge, based. That's pretty good.
Ruling.
honestly, Judge, based on his
Or do you wish the court to make its ruling?
honestly, Judge, based on his criminal history, and of course, you don't have the benefit of the interview with him. But Mr. Delgado and Escobar and I can fill you in on part of the I think it was part of this plea bargain too, was evaluation for Mick. There are definitely some mental health issues going on. You can tell by reading the report, but you do not have the benefit of having that in front of you. But I do feel confident. Of course, it's up to him.
Yeah, I don't know why the alerts keep repeating either. I've tried to tweak it, and I think I fucked something up because now the bits messages look wrong.
To go
I'll screw around with it later.
forward today.
All right. So I am reading the police report. And based upon the police report that I've read that are in the stipulation, there is documentation of bizarre behavior. And I don't know, based upon the police report, if that bizarre behavior was drug-induced or if there's some sort of mental health issues.
Which is why I think we had dual, right, with Mick, or was it just Mick?
I'm making yes, that was.
I mean, based on my time,
Black's
and
Law
certainly I'm not
Dictionary.
an
Starlight, what
expert
do you
in
want me to
any
look
way,
up?
but I would
Cthulhu Flower, thanks for 14 months, says you look positively magical today. Thank you.
tend to think it might have been both, but definitely some mental health issues.
All right, Mr. Hernandez, you want to raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Joe Hernandez.
All right, so Mr. Hernandez, have you ever been diagnosed with any type of mental health issue?
Can I look up any random word? Sure. Oh, sorry, my black claw is over here. Got it. Let's see, a random word. Inalienable rights. Rights which are not capable of being surrendered or transferred without the consent of the one possessing such rights, e.g. freedom of speech or religion, due process, and equal protection laws. See Bill of Rights. What edition? 6th.
No.
We're on 12, I think now, 11 or 12, so it's quite out of date, but they're expensive.
Ma'am.
All right, not even in your childhood?
No, ma'am.
Drug use.
No, ma'am.
You're telling me you never used any drugs?
No. I'm an
How does
alcoholic,
Glenn
yes.
think he can help given there's a court order saying he can't make vids? In fairness, that was only for a certain period of time, and it wasn't vids in general, it was just not getting in trouble. So as long he was making videos, they just weren't interesting because he wasn't getting in trouble anymore, because he was being much more cautious. So I assume he's there to lend emotional support more than anything. Also, this is a different state than he was charged in, so, yeah.
I drink, but that's it.
All right, so in the stipulation, they're saying that you were exhibiting bizarre behavior.
Somebody,
It's interesting that they're under the impression, the judge seems to be, that if you're exhibiting bizarre behavior, the only two things that it could be are drugs or mental health issues. Now, I'm sure mental health issues do impact people's propensity for getting into sovereign citizen stuff, but I've seen plenty of sovereign citizens that believe batshit sovereign citizen stuff that are not diagnosable seemingly under like the DSM. Like, it's not like they have some specific thing. Not everyone who's a sovereign citizen, I'd argue, not even most, have like schizophrenia or schizoaffective disorder or like schizoid personality. Like, a lot of them are just wrong. People exhibit weird behavior when their actions don't make sense to you. That doesn't mean they're crazy necessarily. It means that they're wrong and don't understand what's happening. As much as they say they don't understand when they do, ironically, they actually really don't understand because their entire basis for understanding what the legal system even is wrong. So it's not so much mental illness as it is, how do I put this? A worldview that is so conflicted with the reality of the situation and the worldview of others that it makes navigating things difficult. Now, it is kind of a mental illness. Mental illness is often defined by what makes it difficult to, like, go through life and navigate the perils and pitfalls of everyday life. But not in the way that, like, the court system deals with it. Putting this guy in an institution isn't going to help him, probably. I don't know. It's just weird. It's just weird.
Somebody was trying to take my life that night, and I was just trying to save my life. I was asking for help. And I didn't want to die that night. Somebody came at my door trying to kill me.
Fractal wrongness, or, as Lacan put it, foreclosure.
And I did.
And I ended up at the hospital. I called the cops. She has the phone record that I called the cops asking for help. I ended up at the hotel. I did everything wrong, yes. But I was just trying to save my life that night. I didn't want to die that night.
Someone save my
I
life
was just-
tonight.
I didn't want somebody to take my life for no reason.
Someone
That's the
save,
God's
someone
honest
save,
truth.
someone save
And I'm
my
here
life,
fighting this.
someone
I don't
save
have
my
mental
life.
issues.
Oh, I mean, if you want a jury trial, we'll give you a jury trial.
I'm 34 years old.
No, if you want a jury trial, you can have a jury trial. That's your question.
Or you can request the judge to give you deferred, and then that way you know that, you know what the end result's gonna be.
Yes, depraved ambiance. That's basically what I'm getting at. He doesn't need medication or even necessarily traditional talk therapy. He basically needs some kind of diversion program that really breaks down his worldview and why it's wrong. And that just doesn't exist. And I'm not saying it's even practical for that to exist. I just don't know what the solution is. Because a typical mental health treatment, I don't know how well it would work. Because his delusions probably aren't based on... How do I put this? They're probably not based on chemical imbalance. They're just based on a bunch of misgivings about the world. How do you deprogram that, you know?
I have a right to face my accuser, Your Honor.
No, here's the thing. And this is what I don't think people understand. We can go off the record. Everybody thinks that they can be an attorney without a license. They want to throw around magic words like Jack and the Beanstalk. Oh, let me throw right to accuser, right to confront. Let me throw, I want a dismissal. The question is, do you want a jury trial? Yes or no? And let me explain something to you. If you say you want a jury trial, this train is going to a jury trial. This train is not at the last minute. Oh, I see witnesses walking in the door. So therefore, I'm deciding to enter a plea bargain agreement. If you want a jury trial, court will give you a jury trial. You will get a quick, fast jury trial. So you want to discuss that with your attorney? You can. You all want to discuss that?
I'm good with the jury trial.
Do you want to discuss that with your client?
I think based on my comment,
Phoenix says, also mental disorders are not necessarily the same as being legally insane or unfit to stand trial. Yeah. The standard... First of all, insanity defenses are usually for something like murder. And then there's like the McNaughton test. And there's another one that are used usually for the standards of insanity in like a murder trial. And it's along the lines of, were you capable of morally understanding while you perpetrated the alleged crime that what you were doing was wrong? So it's legal insanity as defined by capability or incapability to understand the morality of the situation, of what you are doing, which is different than just general delusions, although delusions certainly can impact your ability to accurately assess the morality of a given situation. I don't know, it's a whole thing. Trey says, part of the problem is that the only tool we have is the system to convince them is that the system isn't lying to them or corrupt. Traditional tools can't be used. And that's the thing, the answer's more nuanced than that. I don't think it would be fair to sit these people down either and be like, the courts always have everyone's best interest in mind and nothing ever goes wrong. The conversation would be a lot more nuanced, and people don't usually get into conspiratorial worldviews because they're very good at or accepting of nuanced viewpoints. It's difficult. It's difficult. You basically have to sit down and say, yeah, there are problems with the system, but the way that you think this works isn't it. And you can't do that because the only person with the power to do that would be someone from the state or empowered by the state to actually force them into some sort of diversion program to have that talk, and to them it's just going to feel totalitarian. It's going to feel like a re-education program. Like, what do you do? I don't know.
conversation with him earlier this morning that he is, because of what happened the other day, it just took him off of pleading and he wants his jury trial.
All right, we're coming back on June 3rd,
Thank you, Judge.
and you will have your jury trial, and your plea deadline date has expired.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
May I approach, Your Honor?
Just one moment.
I say when I understand that literally it would be a re-education program, I mean how to strip it of the connotations that they would have of it being some sort of Soviet gulag brainwashing. Like, we are not trying to hurt you or trick you. We are trying to unprogram a lot of the false beliefs they have, but it's not going to feel like that to them. So what do? I don't know.
Yeah.
And state, on Mr. Hernandez, I don't know if you all need to request that the stipulations be withdrawn, or you all can duplicate your steps.
I think we could do, I think Judge, I just.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Off the record,
Yes.
I'm going to the new Plaza Club on Weston to find out. It's supposed to open up. I'm gonna find out what the lunches are about. I understand you love the chop house.
Yes,
I don't think they have it. I'm gonna find out and I'll report back.
yes. Do away with their chop
I
sack.
love that off the record they're talking about lunch. How fun. Off the record, we're going to that fucking awesome place.
Because the world changes, Judge.
Yeah,
Yeah, you know?
yeah.
Okay, I'll probably
I'd
text
agree, Demi Bird.
you.
All
I've
right.
also heard of people, and this sucks because there is a correlation between autism and being trans. Don't know why that correlation exists, but it does. And there are some places that are trying to make it so that if you have a diagnosis of being autistic, that it's more difficult or impossible to get on hormones. And it's like, like you can't have, like, I have ADHD, my therapist thinks I'm autistic, and I'm trans, as if you can't be multiple things at once. It's just, I don't even know. Did I see the Tom Baker Who Said announcement? I did. I saw that months ago, actually, when they preliminarily announced it. It's coming out like a month after the next Peter Davidson set. Anyway, so that's that video. Let's get into the Glenn thing. Why not? So, the visual of this isn't very thrilling. It's literally just Glenn. It's literally just Glenn in a hotel room talking. I will preface with some stuff about Glenn, though. Glenn Cerio. So for those who maybe are more recent subscribers of mine, or followers, or anything, Glenn is a sovereign citizen, First Amendment auditor that we used to cover somewhat regularly on this channel. We haven't heard from him lately because he was convicted of, forget what the specific charges were, but basically he was stalking a cop, which you don't want to do, and making vague, weird threats. A whole bunch of stuff, and he got arrested, and part of his sentence was he had a deferred conviction as long as he didn't get in trouble for like 6 months or a year or so. Don't know the exact amount of time. So that's why we haven't heard from him. But he's just the worst. He's just the worst. Here's Glenn Cerio.
Leave me alone. I don't.
This woman, I believe, is the one who he ended up kind of being stalky with. He came around the back and was like looking in her office, or trying to look in her office on a different day, because they had gotten into an altercation here, because he just shows up to the police station and tries to fuck around and hit the silent alarm button and was just fucking with people. So here's a taste of Glenn, if you're not familiar, and then we'll get into his new defense of Chile, because Glenn has decided to go all the way to Las Vegas to help defend Chile to Castro.
I don't know what you've done. There's no
Oh, he's super sexist, too. He's, like, so mean to women. It's wild.
sign on that. There's. Try it. Give it your best shot. Give it your best shot, lesbian. There's some evidence inside here. Did you want
Would you step out of there, please, for us?
For
And
what?
racist, yes.
Step out of the bathroom.
For what?
Glenn, you're under arrest.
For what?
You're under arrest for failure to comply.
Oh, and he doesn't wash his hands when he pees. Like, on camera, he was filming himself, and he was in the bathroom. He was the only one in there, and he didn't wash his hand when he peed, which, like, isn't illegal, but it is gross. Tea with Goblins says, "Morning, Hannah. Can only stay for a few moments because I have to go to scary ballet aerobics class at 8 a.m. Imagine a regular ballet bar class, but they strap 1 kilogram weights to your ankles. Why do I do this to myself? Anyway, love your work. I hope that that goes well and is the least miserable it can possibly go."
I didn't
Okay, failure to comply.
I'm not doing nothing.
And our city code
No.
for.
So you're
criminal
threatening me again.
trespass,
So you're
okay?
threatening me again.
No, sir, you're under arrest, okay?
For what?
Turn around, put your hands
Let
behind
me
your
call my
back.
lawyer.
Turn around, put your hands
I
behind
will.
your
Let me call my lawyer.
Feel bad for whoever put him in handcuffs. That was right after he peed.
Driver's
What do you need that for?
Here's
You're
more
on your
clips
cell
of him.
phone.
I wasn't on my cell phone.
Sir, yes, you are.
No, I wasn't.
Okay. Are you not going to give me your license then?
So I don't know what you're pulling me over for.
For using your cell phone, sir.
That's not true.
Okay, I saw you on your phone.
That's not true.
All right. Well, that's why I stopped you.
I don't care what you stopped me for.
Okay. Are you Glenn?
Oh God, here we go.
Huh?
He's known around his town because he gets in so many altercations with the cops. Wasn't that the guy he was harassing before? Yes. After that traffic stop, he went here to file a complaint, and this is when he met the female officer and hit the silent alarm, etc., etc. Wandering. Just wandering.
How do you,
Hello?
Mr. Cerio or Cerio?
Sure, why not?
How do you pronounce it?
Doesn't matter. Let's move on.
Okay. What can I do for
Doesn't
you,
matter.
Wanna report
Let's move on. A normal thing to say when someone asks how to pronounce your name.
the cop that drew his firearm?
sir? Okay. You want to report cop?
The big fat pig, Gonzalez. Yeah.
The cop never pulled a firearm on him. He's just lying. We saw the video. He didn't.
The only fat ass pig that's around.
Fact check, or fat check if you will.
I'm pulling these from Irish Demon's video because it's easy to get the clips. Thank you, Irish Demon.
Yes, Officer Gonzalez.
Or dash cam.
Okay.
Make sense?
So do
I would
want
ask you to do your job.
We'll talk.
Go ahead, go in there. I'll follow you. Go ahead. You first.
All right, sir. So just so you know, you're being audio and video recorded.
With what? I don't see any cameras.
Right there.
Okay.
Okay. So why don't you just walk me through what happened?
So I was driving down Makatia Speedway, and a big fat pig got behind me, and he was kind of swerving in out of lanes, and he flashed his lights after probably about 60 seconds.
Okay.
And then I pulled over to the right in front of some kind of bar, and then he walked over to the passenger side of my vehicle, and as he's doing that, he's drawing his gun. He's literally pulling out of the holster, and he's looking. He's telling me he
He
can't
wasn't.
hear me. I got the window.
So you could see him from your spot on the driver's side, walking.
My
to the
head's
passenger
completely
side,
turned
pulling his
like this.
firearm.
I rotated my head like this
Lie. We all know that that is absolutely
Yeah.
behind me.
I don't know.
I don't want to get attacked from behind, so
So you're not gonna get attacked, sir.
that's what. Yeah,
Gotta
I don't,
check
I don't
his
play games
corners.
like that. I don't do that.
All right.
So-
He's well
You
trained.
know, you came here to
Tactically.
report something. This police department, that door is locked unless you have an access.
Well, I don't know why there's a person hiding right here. I can clearly see them.
something to do with the fact that you're obviously a very
So
Okay. Well, if there's somebody I can't see them.
okay, well maybe they moved, right? Maybe they heard me say that and they moved their body, right? Could that happen? No, that's not a possibility, right?
So, sir,
So anyway, he starts yelling at some point.
Yeah, just, I don't know.
Get some better training. She's kind of. I think the blonde dye might have fried her brain.
Very
She's kinda
sexist.
stupid. I'm saying
Are you
she's.
talking about the other officer?
Yeah, she
Oh.
seems pretty stupid. Yeah. Oh, you're back? Well, I don't want to talk to you.
sir.
Yeah, I don't want to talk to
All
you.
right, I will take your statement.
No, I don't want to talk to you. Other guy.
Would you be? Can I talk with
I'm
the
just
other
gonna close the
officer?
door. I'm just gonna
I
close.
can't hear you if you
I don't
close
care.
it.
I don't care. Go away from me. Go away from me. I don't like you. You're a lesbian. You are. Look at you. You're a lesbian. You're a fucking lesbian. Wouldn't put my dick in you.
I am sure
So you get it. He gets arrested for everything, and he got convicted. The conviction was suspended, like I said, based on probation. I don't know if that probationary period is over or if he just thinks he's gonna try his luck in Las Vegas. I don't know. But here's his most recent video talking about him being in Las Vegas now, trying to help Chilie out. Again, it's not thrilling. He is just sitting in a hotel room talking, but we'll listen to a little bit, because I missed Glenn. I missed this guy.
What's up, guys? We're here at the Clark County Detention Center where Jose Chilie de Castro is, and we're gonna make a visitation to see Chilie tonight. What's up, guys? Auditing USA here, and I'm making this video because I am currently here in Las Vegas, Nevada, and I've been working with...
Wonder where he got the money to go to Las Vegas and get a hotel room. This looks like, I don't know, a Holiday Inn or something. Looks like a hotel, not a motel. Low-grade hotel, but a hotel nonetheless. Did he get a real job? Probably had to after he got on probation.
Jose Maria de Castro, which is Delete Laws. I am trying to help him with his appeals, his new attorney's selection, and any financial obligations he has. So I've been in Vegas for quite some time. I've been working in the background trying to help Chilie.
I want to know how long he's been lurking in the background and we didn't know. Because Chilie has said he had 6 employees and now he's down to 3. Was Glenn always one of those employees? Is this what Glenn does now? Is this his job, is working for Chilie? I have a dream. Not that one. But I have a dream in which the people I cover on stream come together in a sort of Legion of Doom. Marcel would be Lex Luthor, John Doyle would be the Joker, Glenn would be Solomon Grundy. It would be beautiful. And if this would happen for me, I'd really appreciate it. Christian Jones with a $9.99 super chat on YouTube says, had jury duty this week and I've seen enough of your Sobsit vids that when I saw the courtroom flag had gold trim on it, I almost blurted out, "This is an Admiralty court!" That's funny. That's one way to get out of jury duty. The Legion of Inept Evil!
Who are all familiar with Chilie.
Ooh, the acronym is basically LIE, too. That's not bad.
Delete Laws.
John as the Joker? Really? John's not that funny? Neither's the Joker. The Joker thinks he's funny. The Joker isn't necessarily actually funny.
He was wrongfully arrested.
He's amusing himself at the cost of everyone else, and that's what makes him scary. Thus, John.
Las Vegas, Nevada, by a corrupt cop who didn't like him filming a
Again, he said he could film, he just told him to back up and stop talking to the suspect. He didn't, so here we are.
Traffic stop, something.
Rageology says, I'd love to be a fly on the wall for the conversation where Chilie tries to get Glenn to read Atlas Shrugged. Same.
I do on the regular and watch.
The Joker would kill me for saying that? Yeah, it's one of the reasons he's not funny. He's predictable.
State, even in Seattle, Washington.
Who would win in a fight, Solomon Grundy or Joe Fixit? Solomon Grundy.
And
Joe Fixit is much, much weaker than the typical Hulk, and Solomon Grundy can't die, so can you ever really beat him?
He was arrested for 2 charges, and unfortunately he was convicted of both charges. He didn't have a jury trial. He wasn't entitled to a jury trial. He was only allowed to do a bench trial.
I think that might be the case because they were misdemeanors, and I think you're only guaranteed a jury trial if you can get over a year in prison. Like, if it's a year and a day, I think that's when jury trial automatically kicks in. You can, with certain misdemeanors, depending on how serious they are, file to say you want a jury trial. But I didn't get the impression in the pre-trial stages that Chilie was even interested in having a jury trial. Could be wrong. Don't think it would have made a difference, except wasting a lot of people's time.
And the judge already had her mind made up because she thought he was rude to the jail staff or the courts.
Yeah, decorum in court's kind of a big deal. If you go into the courtroom and put your feet up on the defendant table, the defendant desk, and then the bailiff is like, hey, don't do that, and then you call him a pig, and then in court multiple times you continue to call him a pig, yeah, that's probably not going to go great. Decorum in court is a thing. I talked about this before. Literally, someone could be a serial killer. You could have, we were on Batman, so why not? You could have Victor Zsasz on the stand, but you wouldn't be allowed to be like, you dirty murderer! Like, it doesn't even matter if what you're saying is true. You are in court. You are not allowed to yell derogatory things at anyone. It's just not how it's done. Don't do that.
Guards. But, at this point, he's stuck in the Clark County Detention Center.
No, I've not read Worm.
And the only thing I can do at this moment is help with money on his books or his phone calls.
Yeah, he didn't get contempt.
I can contribute to his lawyers and his other things as well, but it's going to take a whole lot of money to beat this whole process. He's got 2 more court appearances coming up soon, so hopefully he can get released.
Yeah, remember that time he was like, Luna, donate $200. Oh.
Before he has to go to trial for those 2 similar cases. So if anybody wants to help support Delete Laws, they can do that. They can do that by, sending money, or they can, there's several ways to support Chilie at this time.
Mostly the money, though.
So
I'm gonna speed him up, because holy shit, Glenn, please talk faster.
Chilie is going to be there for probably till July.
At minimum.
I don't think he's going to have to serve the whole 6-month sentence.
I mean, it's 4 months with good behavior, 6 months total, and I don't think he's had very good behavior. After his most recent phone calls, he hasn't had any phone calls posted in, like, a week. So I am wondering if he got his phone privileges taken away, or what. I don't think he's good behavior as far as the jail is concerned. But who knows? Crowding might be a big enough issue that they let him loose anyway.
But, we're trying our best to get Chilie out. Nobody can believe that Delete Laws was arrested for filming the police, and the guy was...
He was not arrested for filming the police. He wasn't. He was arrested for, oh god, what was the specific charge? Obstruction, which he was. And people have brought up before, but Hannah, don't you think cops say one thing and charge them with a thing even though that's not what they wanted? Yes. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying cops don't throw charges on people or can't throw charges on people arbitrarily for other reasons. I am saying based on the video we saw from multiple angles, both the cop and Chilie, I think, was obstructing. In a very stupid way.
Delete Laws is more than 20 feet away. I mean, he didn't obstruct the cop. The judge and Zimmerman claimed that he put the officer's life in danger. That's not the case. I mean, how is he putting the officer's life in danger? The officer's conducting the traffic stop. He decided to stop the traffic stop to go after Delete Laws. I mean, none of this makes any sense.
Right, because he had to deal with him because he wasn't following orders and remaining, like, a basic distance. He was also interacting with the suspect, which you're not allowed to do.
Prosecutor, she kind of painted a pretty bad picture for Jose, making it sound like...
Didn't he literally get up in the cop's face? Yeah, at a certain point he did, and he was yelling at him and insulting him and stuff during the stop. Which again, this wasn't Chilie in a traffic stop. There was a traffic stop happening, which Chilie walked up to and started asking questions to the suspect while the cop was trying to talk to them and do a ticket or warning or whatever.
Officer was in danger, and, obviously that's not the case. if the officer has to have reasonable suspicion to believe that he's in danger.
Yeah, I heard
like,
that chromatic
you see a knife,
cuttlefish. I'm
you see a
wondering if
gun,
it's
you see
true.
some sort
That
of
came
weapon.
from Chile,
Yeah,
so
then you can say, you might be up to something not so good, right? But if you're just standing there holding a camera and you're filming the police, it's going to be really hard to prove that you put the officer's life in danger, And the reason I'm out here helping is because I do support Chile. I believe Jose de Castro. We had similarities to what's happened. I was convicted of reckless driving. It's something that is unbelievable. The officer said I was going 15 miles an hour in a 25-mile-an-hour zone. So basically he said I was going 10 miles under the limits. There was no car accident. There was no problem.
this obsession with, like, there needs to be a victim. Yes, there are preventative things. If you are speeding, if you are drunk driving, if you are recklessly driving, we give you a ticket to disincentivize you from behaviors that are likely to lead to death and harm to others. Like, it's just absurd that they think literally you can't wait until after someone's already been hit by a drunk driver to charge the drunk driver. Ridiculous.
Property damage. There was no victim. But the officer, Brett Jacoby, which was originally from Mesa, Arizona, who had multiple complaints against him for use of force from Internal Affairs in Mesa, Arizona. I believe that's Maricopa County. So basically, yeah, Brett Jacoby accused me of this. Originally, he pulled me over for failure to stop at a stop sign. I asked for a sergeant. A sergeant didn't come. It was kind of like it was like a wannabe lieutenant, no, wannabe sergeants without the stripes. Officer Moss, Troy Moss. He showed up.
I like that he remembers all the cops' names because he's so salty that he got in trouble. Trey says, did Glenn say that the cops need a reasonable suspicion that they're in danger? They don't. That's part of the problem. They don't even, this is the thing. How can they ever expect to actually work in any way towards police reform when they don't even understand the rules as they exist? It's frustrating. It's so frustrating. As someone who recognizes the problems in policing in America, the fact that these people act as though they're looking to solve that problem when in reality they're bumbling around and self-aggrandizing and grifting off of the aesthetic of caring about justice, it's incredibly frustrating and disheartening, to be honest.
Supposed to be some sort of training officer. Right away, Officer Moss was very, very, hands-on. He wanted to grab me. He wanted to force me back in the car. He was very rude. He was very demanding. I was told to get out by Officer Jacoby and look for my insurance and my registration because they wanted to give me tickets for both of those. So for me to avoid that, I would have had to look for my stuff. And Officer Jacoby...
Yes, if you don't have those, you are in trouble. You are supposed to have those when you drive a car on public roads. You are required to have them.
He gave me that okay to come out of the car and do that. So when Officer Moss decided that he's had enough and we're not looking for your insurance card and your registration no more, he decided that he was going to, him and Jacoby
and take money away from actual reform. Chilie himself has raised tens of thousands of dollars for his own nonsense. That money could have gone towards some actual grassroots group that works towards improving the justice system, towards bringing actual, cops who do things wrong to justice, trying to get some sort of restitution for people who have been victimized. But instead, it's just bitching that they need driver's licenses and stuff. Pathetic.
Attacked me, so I had to, they forced me back in my car. And, it took a lot of money, it took a lot of years, but I ended up losing the trial. Nobody can believe that you could be reckless at 15 miles an hour. I had a prosecutor who was out.
Going 10 miles under the speed limit could be considered reckless. It's not legal to go way under the speed limit. I don't know the specific charge that goes with that and if that is why, but you could be going very slow and being reckless. These are not mutually exclusive things. The act of being way slower than the flow of traffic is dangerous and reckless. How do you not get that? If someone's going the speed limit and you're going much slower and they're not prepared, which they should be, to be clear, but you also have a responsibility to maintain a reasonable speed. How can you not understand? Yes, the speed limits aren't just the top. You're supposed to remain vaguely in that range, within five at least? Within 5 miles per hour at least?
To get me. Her name is Lacey Offit. She currently does not work for the Snohomish County Prosecuting Attorney's Office anymore. She works directly with the Everett Police Department. They hired her on immediately after
He was using his cell phone while driving. That'll do it.
won my trial.
Chilie does that all the time. In fact, he has I think it's some sort of civil issue in California over that, because Chilie uses his phones all the time when he drives in order to film, and he holds them and talks into them and is reading chat on them. And I think he got into some sort of accident or something, but that's another story.
There was a lot of questions during the trial. The jurors wanted to see the police report. There was a lot of doubt. When you can listen to the recordings, the transcripts of the trial and the sentencing on the website of the Everett Municipal Court. It's called AV Capture, I believe. But basically, what happened is Jacoby and Ross and the sergeant who showed up with, which is Sergeant Ross. Sergeant Ross, his father used to be sergeant for the Snohomish County Sheriff's Department. I think he might have worked for the jail. But there was a big connection there with that. And then basically, you know, these guys, so what happened was when I called the sergeant, Ross showed up, and they got me in the car because they
I
wanted
like that this started about Chilie, but now Glenn is just like whining about his criminal history.
to have, Moss wanted to have a conversation with Officer Jacoby, a private conversation without me video recording. Well, what Moss was doing was he was trying to trump up charges. So originally I'm pulled over for failure to stop at a stop sign. No big deal, that's just a traffic ticket, right? Well, at the end of the stop, after Ross is keeping me there, he's distracting me. That was his job. Ross was there to distract me and keep me in the car while Officer Moss had Jacoby start writing the statement, and he sat there and he told Brett Jacoby every step by step what to write. He said there was a Boys and Girls Club. He said there was Hawthorne Elementary. He said there's Wiggum's Hollow Park. And then they said there was women and children on the sidewalks. And they said I could have hit these women and children on the sidewalks. So now it doesn't matter what speed I'm going. Now they're claiming that I'm being so reckless in my car that these women and children that are supposedly present on the streets are basically in danger.
People use the streets
For their lives, which is not true. It was a Friday night. It was after 3 p.m. School was out. There were no
That's when kids are on the roads and streets. That's not good. Saying it school was out is not helping your argument.
women and children on any
You know, the kids had just gotten out of school and I was on my cell phone while driving around the school area. It was fine. I can't be reckless. I was going way under the speed limit.
sidewalks.
Profane Priestess says, like how Chilie claims to be the anti-cop and libertarian, but when he describes his ideal world, it's the most hellishly dystopian surveillance state you can imagine, with people forced to wear cameras and trackers 24/7, so no one ever needs to be arrested and torture cuffed, right?
Okay, and let's say there
Their solutions make no sense.
was women and
They
children.
just want to imagine a situation. I think in Chilie's head, what he thinks is, I think he thinks that he could evade cameras and stuff. So in his head, he's trying to come up with a system that binds others, hypothetically, but not himself. And that's what he came up with. It's very stupid.
On the sidewalks. I'm driving on the roadway. You know, I'm not driving on the sidewalk.
Also Amber, not Profane Priestess. Sorry, I know you said I could start using your actual name.
What would that have to do with anything?
Little Homestead says, so the cop saw this fellow with his cell phone out driving really slow past school kids. Yeah, probably a good reason to stop him.
Well, Lacey Offit, the prosecuting attorney, she turned it into one hell of a big deal. She told the jury that I was out to hurt people that day, that I was being reckless, that I was angry.
You were being reckless, and you may have been angry, especially if you were filming a video. I've seen your videos. You get mad.
So the original person who filed the charge to the courts was Flor Diaz. Flor Diaz is a prosecuting attorney. Obviously, she's not good at double-checking her work because
Good enough to prosecute you.
the address on the original charging instrument, which is the original charging document, it didn't match the location of where this incident happened. So they were claiming this happened over down the hill somewhere. But it originally happened kind of like around the school area. But my lawyer, who was an excellent lawyer, oh my God, I am so lucky and grateful that I found Michael Jones. I will tell you that Michael Jones is one hell of a guy. That is one amazing person. He's been doing law for 50 years. That guy is amazing. He took on all of my charges. I had over like 22 charges, I believe.
Are you bragging?
And he took on all of them, and they are all dismissed except for one. I have one more charge this month that's going to be dismissed very soon. But
Well, these are new legal
what I'm
issues.
basically coming to is, if the prosecutor wants you bad enough,
That's hilarious. I didn't even know that these were new legal issues he's talking about.
they will get you. Lacey Offit needed to have me convicted. She knew the Everett Police Department was going to be sued. They were being sued. I was suing them in small claims court. But we were preparing to sue them in federal court, and they knew that. And they knew that they did wrongdoing. So they were looking at over $100 million in federal lawsuits, and they knew it. So they pulled every trick out of their bag to have me convicted. But it was a long process, and eventually the jury did find me guilty of reckless driving. But I was sentenced to 5 days in jail, but the jail let me out early. So they let me out after 4 days. So
Wow, a whole extra day of freedom. That's good for you.
I was able to serve only 4 days and get out of there. But my point is, what I'm getting to is, I feel like I have a similar situation to what Jose De Castro is going through.
In that you were appropriately convicted and sentenced based on your behavior.
You know, I want to say that this whole recording the police officer is, 15, 20 feet away from the car, and it's baloney. Like, you can't put someone in jail for recording the police. You can't do it.
That's not what they put him in jail for.
You can do it, but is it lawful? Is it right? So Jose's, he's stressed out. He's in there. I'm trying to, help him out. I'm giving him the best
Plan
advice
is in Vegas.
I can. I've been through a lot with my attorney, Michael Jones, and
Hopefully he'll stay there.
I've also had Mensinger as well. Mensinger is great. I currently have Glenn Rice, which he's also great. He's a good attorney. But all three of these attorneys I've had are real good.
Salt and vinegar chips are a gift.
Michael Jones was my original attorney. He didn't stop. He filed motions. That's what I was trying to tell Chilie about is, if your lawyer is not filing motions for dismissal, if he's not doing anything in the background, he's not working hard for you. He's not doing you right. So what I'm trying to say is, if your lawyer is just sitting around and waiting for the court date or the trial, that's not the way to go. During that
Depends on what can be done. I mean, if there aren't any defects with the case, what do you expect them to do?
time, he's got to file motions to dismiss the case. There's several motions to be filed to dismiss these cases.
Dismiss the case? Wait, which one are you talking about? Are you talking about his pending one? I guess he could be talking about the pending one and not the one he's already in jail for.
And now we're in a whole nother process. We're in an appeal process, which is a whole nother ball of wax.
Okay, no, he is talking about it. Does he think that you can dismiss a case that's already been adjudicated? That's not the part we're in. We are in the appeal process. He can't just dismiss the case because he was already found guilty. He was convicted, and now he's in the appeals.
It costs more money, so Chilie's going to need a lot more money.
He thinks you can file a dismissal of a case after the case is over?
To help him. It cost me buku's amount of dollars when I fought that reckless driving charge, and then I even appealed it. And, when we appealed it, they had a different prosecutor in there, and she told the judge that I was driving 15 miles an hour. And you should have seen the look on the judge's face. She looked at that prosecutor like, what? She raised her eyebrow like, what, 15 miles an hour? And at that point, it was, you don't have a lot of chance in appeals. I will say that. So an appeal is like a 80-20. So like 80% in their favor, and I want to say 20% in your favor. When you have a trial,
it's not random chance. Dependent upon the facts of the case, upon defects that happened in the trial.
You have about a 50-50 chance. So that's also, even if the odds are in your favor, like even if you think you have...
Sorry, not even the facts of the case, defects in the trial process generally.
In dry case. Like for me, my reckless driving case, that was cut and dry. There was no accident. There was no property damage. There was no victim. There was no collision. There was no almost, or there was only could have.
They are so obsessed with this concept of a literal victim that has already been victimized. Negligence is a thing. We make preventative laws in order to conform people's behavior towards less negligence and more safety. That is a thing. Most people accept and understand that. No one likes getting tickets, but we generally understand why they exist, right?
Brett Jacoby kept saying he could have. Well, you know, the moon could come down and crush the Earth, right? An asteroid could come out of space and demolish the Earth, right? A lot of things could
We should give that asteroid a ticket.
happen. But according to, you know, Brett Jacoby, he decided that he was going to write a false narrative, which is illegal. He committed perjury. He knows he committed perjury. He knows that he can go to prison for 5 years. Nobody showed up. So there were 3 officers on that case. There was Sergeant Ross, and there was Troy Moss, and there was Brett Jacoby. So when I got to trial, Troy Moss was standing next to Jacoby in the hallway, and they stared at me. And then I went to the courtroom, and what do you know? Only Jacoby shows up to court. Only Jacoby's the witness. So even though there were 3 officers at that incident, only one of them testified because they convinced Jacoby to write that false narrative. He didn't know what he was doing. He didn't know what he was dealing with. So the Everett Police Department hasn't seen me for like, I want to say 10 years prior to that incident in 2019. So this happened November 15th, 2019. So before that date, the Everett Police Department has not seen me for like 10 years. And all of a sudden, they pull me over. They look at my history. I have some traffic infractions from a long time ago. So they're like, oh, well, this is what they're thinking. Oh, well, he's got a bad attitude. So why don't we just hit him with a reckless driving? Because there's nothing else they can do.
Why are you assuming that? He's assuming so much about their state of mind and why they gave him reckless driving. You self-admittedly were driving 10 under. Other people have pointed out that you were also on your phone. How can you possibly try and claim it's anything but your own actions coming back to bite you?
Nothing they can do in this world. That's all they could come up with was a reckless driving. Usually, when the officers charge you, they have you with multiple charges so one sticks. But they couldn't even hit you with an obstruction charge because I didn't obstruct anything or do anything. Okay. So they single-handedly had that reckless driving charge. And through, this happened November 15, 2019. So during this time, I'm going through lawyer after lawyer. I got, a Filipino lawyer, he...
So racist.
He bounces. He moves to...
Brings up race for no reason randomly.
All of you go to Star attorney. Then I got Emily Wright. Emily Wright she was awful. In the beginning, she was telling me, oh, this is a cut and dry case. You didn't do nothing. We're going to beat this, blah, blah, blah. And for months, nothing was happening. I didn't get phone calls from her. Nothing happened. And then finally, I talked to her, and I already kind of knew that she was throwing me under the bus. So I decided to start recording her. And to my surprise, she was in favor of the prosecutor. She was saying, well, the prosecutor can say this, and the prosecutor can say that. And she didn't...
That doesn't mean she's in favor of them. She's informing you of the legal abilities and rights of the prosecutor.
She didn't want to, it's almost like she didn't want to go to trial. So they kept trying to get me to accept a plea deal. And the plea deal was 6 months probation, and I would get a negligent driving in the 2nd degree, which is a traffic ticket, and I would pay a fine. It sounds like a great deal, but then you have to understand something. You have to have, pride, right? So, like
he was gonna have a good point, and then it was just, actually, my ego didn't let me do that, though.
Why are you gonna accept something? Why are you gonna let this officer get away with this? You have to look at it this way.
Glenn, you were reckless driving. It's fine. You should have taken the ticket, probably.
This officer is trying to take your life. This officer wants to put you away. He wants to ruin your record. He wants you to not be able to get jobs. This officer's out to get you. Should we reward the officer by taking a plea deal? Yeah, it sounded kind of good. A 6-month probation.
I don't understand how he thinks that rewards the cop. I don't think the cop thinks about you at all after that traffic stop. This is just like Chilie obsessing over the judge that, convicted him. They are not thinking about you after that interaction. They deal with people constantly.
Negligent driving in the 2nd degree, and then a couple $100 fine. I could have had it over with. I had multiple offers. I mean, Lacey offered. She even said it during the sentencing. She offered, and I refused. I absolutely refused to take any offer from her. And I was already in the process of suing them. They had to hire an attorney to protect the officers. So the way it works is if you sue somebody, no matter if they're an officer or they're a prosecutor, they have to show up to the court. Well, they never showed up. The attorney showed up for them. So when you file that paperwork, it says directly on that paperwork that the parties have to be present. They have to attend it, unless there's some sort of special request. And as far as I know, there wasn't any special request made.
Overthought, thanks for gifting a sub.
So eventually I got Michael Jones, and Michael Jones took on Bellevue cases. He took on Seattle cases. He took on Everett, Washington cases. He took on Linwood cases. He even helped me with my, I have some cases in Oregon. And at this time, I'm looking at over like 22 charges. And they're trying to, really hammer me. It's kind of almost a similar situation to Jose de Castro, delete laws. Except I had a lot more luck, I want to say. So I had a lot of trolls chasing me around, following me around. That didn't deter me, right? It didn't deter my lawyers. My lawyers didn't care. None of them. Mensinger, Glenn Rice, Michael Jones, none of them cared. They cared about justice. They cared about making
Cops try to veto plea deals because they're worried how it'll look if they don't get the conviction, you mean?
sure that I was free. So I learned a lot about law during this time. I was told a lot of things, explained a lot of things I didn't know before. So basically, I want to pass that knowledge to delete laws. And I also am going to help pay for a lot of this court stuff.
The amount of money I would pay irresponsibly to be a fly on the wall of any conversation between Chilie and Glenn, you have no idea. If after Chilie gets out they don't do a stream together, what are we even living for? What are we doing here?
I'm going to make my donations and do what I need to do. But right now, I've been visiting Jose Chilie.
AI judges should be in charge. I wouldn't trust an AI to make me a sandwich that was edible.
Castro
Certainly don't trust him to adjudicate matters of law.
at the jail, and I've been trying to help him come up with a plan. I understand his hate for Ann Zimmerman. I understand it very well. I had a judge that was on the side of Lacey Offit. That was Robert Grant, and he wasn't even a real judge. He was just he was like a fill-in judge. They call him a pro temp. So he's like a prosecuting attorney that becomes a judge when no one else is available. So I understand what he's going through, and it's real. The prosecutor and the judge work side by side. That judge will listen to that prosecutor 95% more. Your lawyer only has like a 5%, and if you're doing a bench trial, that's the worst. I know I had a jury trial and I lost, but there could have been, now that I look at it, the jury selection kind of went wrong. We didn't really
Couldn't find enough sovereign citizens, unfortunately.
analyze our jury that well. I was part of the jury selection. I only removed one girl, and that one girl
Highlighted especially for you. Thanks, little pink dragon.
was claiming to be like an she was kind of, I think she was kind of young and not the brightest one. She talked about how she liked to solve murder mysteries from like A&E and stuff like that, and she liked to kind of like investigate stuff. And you kind of got to eliminate someone like that where they think that they know what they're doing, but they really don't. And she was really pissed off when I told I didn't say it loud, but I told my attorney to dismiss her. I said, Michael Jones, please eliminate her. And he says, I think it was like number 4.
He's talking about these percentages like it's a video game, and he's talking about drop chances. Yes, as if it's all random chance, and as if like the actual facts of the case and the material circumstances aren't in any way related to the outcomes. Very strange.
You are free to go. You are free to leave. And she stormed out of that courtroom. She did not like being dismissed. I had 2 more chances to dismiss people. And one of the persons I should have dismissed was, there was a diesel mechanic, and his father was a lieutenant with the...
I'm surprised Glenn was involved at all in voir dire. I wouldn't be telling my lawyer who to dismiss from the jury panel. Like, that's not my expertise. Presumably your lawyer knows better how to properly vet jurors in a way that is good for your case. Why would you ever assume that you know better?
With the Washington State Patrol. I should have had him dismissed. And there was an older gentleman, I don't remember his name. Actually, I don't know any of their names. That's confidential and secret. I would never get to know their names. But he was some sort of lawyer. He was, I think he was like a personal injury lawyer. The guy looked like he was about to ready to croak and fall over. I mean, he looked old, terrible. But the diesel mechanic that had the lieutenant as the juror that was the diesel mechanic, by trade. They had the father that was a lieutenant in the Washington State Patrol. He was called the jury foreman, and he was the one that was leading the jury. And they wrote us a note, and they wanted to see the statements from the officers. Well, there was actually 2 statements, because originally when I was delivered the discovery by my first attorney, he showed me the whole discovery. And there was a written statement from Brett Jacoby, and there was a second statement from Troy Moss. That statement later disappeared, and it was unrecoverable. No matter how many times I mentioned it, no matter how many times I said it, I read it, I saw it. I tried to take pictures of it, I tried to take copies of it, and the law firm would not allow it. They did not allow it. So I realized that those public defenders that originally had that case, they helped the Everett police. They work side by side with them. They help them. That's kind of what they do. I think that's how they get revenue, is they pretend like they're defending their clients, but in reality they're taking all these plea deals and trying to make the officers look good.
What the fuck are you talking about? Baseless conspiracy theory.
I stood my ground against Officer Jacoby. I stood my ground in court. It was a 2-day trial. It lasted 2 days.
You standed your ground, and then you were convicted.
We were shocked. Everybody was shocked when I lost. But, sometimes...
Everyone was shocked, except for the jury and probably the judge and your attorney.
To win other ways, and it's not over. It's not over because the Everett Police Department is looking at several federal lawsuits. There's a lot of money going out right now, not just on my side, because I'm helping Chilie as well.
How does any of this help or connect to Chilie? It doesn't. Glenn just wants to have a pity party for himself and get attention based off Chilie's name, I guess?
But I would like to let all the supporters know that if they could help with any of this would be great. The main focus right now is Chilie. We got to help Chilie, because Chilie, he's in danger of being held captive longer. He's in that, he says himself, he's in a dungeon. He really is in a dungeon.
Is he, or is he in county jail? Did he time travel back in time to find a medieval dungeon? Or did he just get arrested at a medieval times?
And that place is it's no joke in there. It's a real, I've never been there myself, but you can look around, you can see it's a real, the people are coming in there. It's not a place anyone should be,
Do we know what happened to Charlie? Charlie who? I'm blanking. Who was Charlie? Is this someone I forgot we used to cover?
I don't believe that, you can say whatever you want about Jose Maria Chilie de Castro, but in reality, he was holding the camera. He was filming the cops. He did nothing illegal, So the officer lied on the testimony.
Oh, Chilie's dog. I didn't know that was the name of Chilie's dog. With a friend or family, is my understanding. Is with someone safe.
And at this point, guys, we're gonna have to stick together, and we're gonna have to beat this, because this looks bad on all our parts. So we gotta
I would
unite.
agree. Chilie makes all of you look bad. Yep.
Guys, we gotta unite, and we gotta help Chilie. This is a call for help. We gotta help Chilie de Castro. If anybody wants to help donate to Delete Laws, they can do that. I am currently working with other YouTubers to try to help Chilie as well, but...
Team up with Marcel, you coward. We need it. We need the trifecta. We need the trinity of Sovsits. We need it so bad.
It's a lot going on. There's a lot of appeals. There's a whole nother process to get the attorneys, I believe his original attorney was Michael Mead. I watched the video. That guy did a horrible job. He did an awful job. He didn't argue even during sentencing. He didn't, Jose de Castro's attorney, Michael Mead, he didn't argue on anything. He just kind of sat there and listened to the judge and listened to the prosecutor. I couldn't believe it. And then she wanted to take him away for 6 months. Like, Jesus, like, he was holding a camera. It's different. Like, you give someone 1 or 2 days in jail, but 6 months in jail for holding a camera. This is
not for holding a camera. The camera was completely irrelevant to what happened. He could have done the exact same thing with no camera. Same thing would have happened.
This is bad news, because now you're going to start fighting for people's rights to hold a camera. He's in public. He was nowhere near the car. This is a cut.
He walked right up to the car. He walked directly up to it and talked to the person in the car who was the suspect.
Dry case, like my reckless driving case. These are the kind of cases where they should be dismissed with prejudice before they're even heard in the court of law. And I don't believe that Delete Law's attorney, Michael Mead, had good intentions, because he didn't file any motions to dismiss any charges. So I'm gonna have to say that Michael Mead did a horrible job, and we can only help appeal to get Chilie out. I told him I'll do what I can. I'm probably gonna go visit him again on Monday, But all right, guys. Well, that's all I got. So basically, this is a call for help for Jose Maria Chilie de Castro, known as Delete Laws on YouTube. We are trying to fund his campaign to help bring justice to what his wrongful convictions. So if anybody wants to help support, you have my email. It's auditingusa@gmail.com. You can also hit me up in the comments, and I'll probably don't leave your phone number in the comments, but yeah, and I'll try to help you guys figure this out. But I'm very lucky, I feel, because I was facing many charges, and one of the really bad charges was the Mukilteo Police Department charged me with a felony harassment, threat to kill charge, and that was a bad charge. That was a really bad charge. That was
Yeah, you shouldn't have done that. I remember that.
We're looking at minimum like 5 years in prison. That case was immediately dismissed with prejudice. So that case went before a higher court. It was the Snohomish County District Court, and those prosecutors looked at that case. And I think what really saved my butt was the live stream. Oh my God. I am so lucky I set my live streams to automatically upload, because because you know, when those cops pulled me in that gate, they turned me around to face that car.
Can we
They
have a fund to keep Chile in
into
jail?
my phone. They went
I don't think money would help that.
through my phone illegally. They were searching my phone. Well, in the background, I have it so things can upload in the background when you're not looking. So
It was a live stream, so it was saved as a VOD anyway on YouTube that he was using. He's saying this as if it doesn't already automatically work like this. If I was streaming to YouTube, the default setting is that it'll save it as a VOD. So that's not something he necessarily did.
I think they had their best tech guy trying to look at my phone, but he didn't know enough about my phone and YouTube. The only thing that he was able to do was remove my passcode. So the first thing he did was he went into my settings and he removed my passcode. He didn't remove it.
I don't think you should be allowed to do that.
He turned it off. The switch, the button that turns it off temporarily. So that way they could gain access to the phone even longer. And, you know, on the live stream, it shows him pick it up. It shows him go through it. He even ended my live stream. He hit the X and ended it, but he didn't realize it was uploading in the background. So I had a lot of evidence against them. They can be sued. Mukilteo Police Department can be sued. The Everett Police Department can be sued. You know, these cops are labeling people. They're trying to ruin people's lives because they don't like people. They have some sort of blue line vendetta against the public. Well, that doesn't work in my book. You know, I'm gonna fight. And you know, I spent more than $100,000 fighting all my charges. You know, I spent a lot of money battling this stuff, and it's not easy, but you have to fight. You can't give up. You have to fight them in court. You have to get these charges dismissed with prejudice, and then you have to sue the cops. You have to sue the cops. You can sue the prosecutor. You can sue the judge. You can take them to federal court.
Are you familiar with qualified immunity?
You know, you can take everybody to federal court, and you can hash it out there. You know, they're not exempt from the law. You can sue them, and you can bring them to justice.
Again, qualified immunity is a thing, so that's a hurdle you would have to get over. It's not as easy as just suing them. You would have to sue them and demonstrate that their qualified immunity doesn't in any way protect them from the thing you're trying to sue them over.
So, at this point, guys, we are here to support Jose Maria de Castro, known as Delete Laws. So if you can help contribute, you have my email, auditingusa@gmail.com. You can also show some support by subscribing to Delete Laws channel, or you can let them know that Auditing USA sent you over as a subscriber. But we're gonna do this, and I'm 100% on Chilie's side. So I'm doing everything I can in the background.
Sounded like he said Chile.
To help him, but we need more. And the more people that get involved, the bigger this can be. So let's work together, guys, and let's get this done.
I'm excited to see what comes of this new fortuitous partnership. I'm excited and hope they end up doing some stuff together, because it would be wildly entertaining, methinks. But who knows? Alright, let's go on to the next thing, which will be... this.
Okay, do you have your driver's license?
I don't.
Oh, let me slow that back down.
Okay, do you have your driver's license?
I don't. Do I have what?
Your driver's license, registration, insurance?
I'm doing is actually, I am traveling under a common law jurisdiction. I'm not driving.
We did it! Like the first 13 seconds of the video, and we did it.
Okay.
Do you have your driver's license?
I got these documents for you.
That's not what you were asked.
I'm gonna also need your driver's license.
Okay, well, I'm telling you that I'm not driving.
And I'm telling you. She's just staring directly at him. She's not even looking at the paperwork. She's just like staring at him like, what the fuck? Oh, this is a good one. I can already feel it. I can feel it in my bones.
If you want to look up Arizona law, it's must provide driver's license.
Okay, well, I'm telling you though, under a common law jurisdiction, I'm not driving. I'm traveling. I'm not.
Not a thing. I've explained it before, but in case there's anyone who isn't familiar with the sovereign citizen lore, there is a prominent law dictionary called Black's Law Dictionary. I have the 6th edition right here. There's up to 11 or 12 editions now. I don't remember. I always forget if it's 11 or 12. I think 12. In an older edition, 2nd or 3rd edition, I don't remember, it defines driver as one who is employed in the operation of a coach, carriage, or automobile. The thing is, employed in this context means you are making use of. So it means you are making use of a carriage, a coach, an automobile. You're operating it. These people, however, read it as employed in the modern sense of being paid. So they think you are legally not a driver under the law unless you're like a taxi driver or a pizza delivery person or an Uber or a delivery driver of some other kind, right? None of that's true, of course. It's an obtuse, intentional misunderstanding within the mythology to make them think they can get away with driving on public roads without driver's licenses, insurance, registrations, stuff like that. It's not true. But they are trying to semantically exempt themselves from the law. It doesn't work, just wastes everyone's time.
Driving.
You are in the state of Arizona, though. Just gonna be
He is in a state of delusion. Very close.
a simple traffic stop.
However, Arizona jurisdiction does extend there.
Well, I'm telling you that I'm not driving. I'm traveling under a common law jurisdiction. That's what I'm telling you.
Okay.
So
if you care to look up Arizona law on your phone, Google. You can go ahead and Google that.
I'm traveling under a common law jurisdiction. So I don't know. I don't understand what you're talking about. Honestly, I'm just being real with you.
So you're driving in the state of Arizona.
I'm not driving. Like, the definition of driving is me driving and engaging in commerce. I'm not driving and engaging in any commerce. I'm driving under a common law jurisdiction in my private capacity in my private automobile. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm not driving. I'm traveling.
Okay. George 60. What's the name of the registered owner? Are you failing to provide ID then?
I gave you. I sat there. I gave you what you needed to see. I'm giving.
Are you failing to provide your driver's license?
I gave you what you needed to see. You need. I'm handing you these documents, and you're a public servant, right? You're a public servant.
Sorry?
I asked you, are you a public servant, right?
They think that because public servant is a term, it means that they are their personal servant and must do anything they say. You are not the public. You are an individual within the public. No one person is the public. The public is the group of people at large. It's the public at large, not individuals within it. It's the crowd. It's society, not you, the individual.
You took an oath to uphold the Constitution, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so what I'm saying to you right now is I'm not driving. I'm traveling under a common law jurisdiction. Therefore, I don't understand what you're telling me right now. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Okay.
So I and you're supposed to acknowledge these documents. And if you don't, then you know what I mean, you can get your watch commander and I could talk to him.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Can you just walk?
At least it's not Glenn, because there's 2 women cops, and at least this guy doesn't seem to be like a sexist piece of shit, unlike Glenn. So that's good.
Hi, I'm Officer Wood with the Salver Police Department.
Yeah, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm fine.
Is there any weapons in the vehicle?
I don't answer questions, ma'am. I don't know what
Okay.
you're talking about. I don't even know what you're saying right now. Like what crime did I commit? That's really what I want to know. What crime did I commit? Where's the harm?
I'm here to back up the other officer. She's the one that.
I know, but I'm asking you like, cause you a public servant too, right?
Yeah.
So
H-Beard says he follows common law. I only follow limited tournament edition foil law.
I'm asking you.
There was a Sobsit video where a truck driver was a Sobsit and was pulled over because his job was truck driver, so he had an ID. Not much happened to him besides affirming his beliefs. That's interesting. I guess at least he's consistent? I don't know.
What like where's the injury, harm, and the loss at? Who is saying that I did something to them? Where's the crime at?
I just arrived. I'm here as a backup unit. I don't know what she pulled you over for.
No,
So what
I
y'all-
don't think he said honky. I don't know what he said, but I don't think he said that. I'll go back. Hold on.
Like where's the injury, harm, and the loss at? Who asking? But I'm asking you like,
Harm or injury? Is it one of those words?
cause
Harm.
you a public servant too, right?
Yeah.
So I'm asking you, what like where's the injury, harm, and the loss at? Who is saying that I did something to them? Where's the crime at?
I just arrived. I'm here as a backup unit. I don't know what she pulled you over for.
So what y'all finna are you guys gonna have y'all watch commander here so I could talk to him? Cause I don't understand. I'm lost.
You're wanting what? I'm sorry.
I don't know nothing about. I'm lost right now. I'm lost. I don't understand why I'm being stopped if I haven't committed a crime.
Did she tell you why she stopped you?
What?
Did she tell you?
She said what she said what she said, but I don't understand it because what she's saying is it's
What
not
did
a.
she say?
You know what I mean? You have to ask your fellow officer.
He really doesn't want to say what he was pulled over for, being weirdly obtuse. Steve with a Q, thanks for 43 months, says 43 is a prime number, one more than the product of a prime number and a perfect number. Ooh. And that's a magic number.
I don't know what she said to you when she came out the window?
You have to ask your fellow officer.
I don't know why, Pastel.
Ask your fellow
Automatic
officer
from
what she
Twitch.
said.
Okay. Well, I'm standing by until we
Might
get
be a C-word situation.
our sergeant. You wanted the sergeant, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, you didn't know what that word meant. Oh. No. Ominous staring. This is my favorite part. It's like a staring contest. Who'll break the tension first? Just goes on and on.
Require me.
So that's why we're just.
I mean, and I handed her these documents, and these documents right here will let her know exactly who I am. And I told her and I informed her and let her know that I'm traveling under a common law jurisdiction, that I'm not driving. Okay. And it don't require me to need a driver's license to travel. Therefore, I'm in my own private capacity. I'm in my own private automobile. So what she's saying and what she told me, I don't really have no understanding about, really, to tell you the truth. So if you need to.
Another part of sovereign citizen mythology that if you say you understand, it secretly means you stand under the authority of the law, and that's how they get you under their jurisdiction, by getting you to say you understand. It's nonsense. Again, they think magic words make the world go round. They don't. But that is why they continually will demand that they do not understand, even when clearly it's not a hard thing to comprehend. They just think understand has a secret meaning. It does not.
To know who I am, she need to know who I am, and that young lady need to know who I am. I will provide, and you're supposed to, under the Constitution, you're supposed to take these documents, and you can, if you need to know who I am, it's all on this paperwork for you.
Just so I know who I'm speaking to, can I get your first name? I'm not asking you for your.
Hey man, I sat there and told you you could take these documents and go from there.
Sir. I'll call you sir. I just didn't want to be rude, and I was gonna call you by
Hey
your first
man.
name. Where are you coming from, sir?
What?
Where are you coming from, sir?
I don't answer questions.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. I don't answer questions. Like, I don't need to, because what crime have I committed? That's what I'm saying. Like, you guys have to let me know, like, is there any harm, injury, or loss? Where is the harm? Where's the injured party saying that I did something to them? I haven't committed a crime.
Again, they believe that you need to have an actual person there who says, like, this person robbed me or hit me with a car, and if there isn't literally a person there accusing you of doing direct harm to them, then they think there can't be a crime or an infraction or anything of that nature. Of course, that's not true. They get that from a bastardized understanding of corpus delicti.
So no injured party, okay? Like I said, what initiated traffic stop was you rolling a stop sign. That's what.
Well, I don't. Well, that's what.
Rolling stop. Not even a big deal. Probably would have got a warning.
I'm saying, well, I don't understand that is what I'm trying to tell you. Like, at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? I'm traveling in my own private capacity, doing what I'm doing, going from point A to point B. I don't know what she's talking about, is what I'm trying to tell you.
We're just out with you, just making sure everything's okay.
Okay.
And then we want to
really wish cops would ask a simple question: are you on a private road? See, to you and me, that makes sense, though, because we understand that on public roads you are still required to have license, registration, insurance, etc. They don't know that, or at least don't believe it. So asking them, are they on a private road, isn't going to do anything to them, because they're going to be like, why are you even saying that? They're not in the frame of reference for which that comment would trigger the correct response in their brain, because they don't know what you would mean, because their worldview is fundamentally different than yours or mine. They're wrong, but
identify you so we know who you
all
are.
right. Well, if you don't, well, you the chief commander, right?
No, sir.
So where's the watch commander at?
Sir, I just wanted to come, just talk to you, let you know what's going on in case you weren't informed. But he's en route, and he'll be here shortly.
Okay, all right. I appreciate it. Thank you.
I'm just trying to keep you up to date, so that way there's no questions, comments, concerns, and if you have any, we can answer. I'm gonna let you know. Okay?
Should do SOBSIT seminars for cops. You know, a buck's a buck.
I mean, I pretty much.
It would require me to interact with a lot of cops. But on the other hand, it might be an opportunity to try and teach them something good that might help people. I'm conflicted about that. The good news is I will never be in demand for any sort of expertise, so that's not a moral road I'll ever even have to consider crossing. The opportunity won't be there.
I already asked you, like, what crime have I committed? Because from what y'all telling me, them is codes. I don't understand them. Them is codes. Them is vehicle.
Well, he
them is
just
vehicle.
explained that you rolled a stop sign.
Well,
So
that,
just
but
make
what
a
I,
complete stop at a
but
stop
what
sign
I'm saying
while
though,
you were stopped.
okay, but I'm asking you. All right, so I'm gonna ask you, like, is that a crime?
Yeah, because you just ran a stop sign. You can't.
No, that's not a crime. You know what a crime? You know what a crime? I'm not trying to argue with you at all.
They have a tendency to conflate the term crime with illegal, because there are different kinds of things that are illegal, right? There are things that are crimes, criminal in nature. There are things that are civil in nature. There are traffic infractions. These are things that are illegal and draw the bounds of what is legal or illegal, but not all of them are criminal. So when he says, this isn't a crime, it might not be criminal. It might be a civil infraction or a traffic infraction, depending on how this particular state taxonomically defines their codes, but it is nonetheless illegal, whether or not it is criminal in nature.
Miss Lady, but I'm asking you, like, you know what a crime is, right?
Provide ID in Arizona is also a crime.
You know, that's not a crime. Like, you have to, I'm obligated to provide ID and identify myself if I committed a crime, an actual crime. I haven't committed a crime.
It's a crime crime code if you would like to look it up.
You saying, but see, you saying code. I'm talking. I don't understand codes. I'm talking about law. I'm talking about law. A code and the law is
Again,
two
when he says I don't understand codes, he thinks he is not giving some sort of consent for codes to apply to him. Not how it works.
different things. See, that's what I'm saying. I don't understand. I'm not trying to argue with y'all. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not trying to argue with y'all.
Yeah.
For
We're
real.
not trying to argue either. We're just informing you.
Thank you.
We don't like to argue.
Hey, I'm not trying to argue with y'all neither. I actually, y'all really pretty much trying to force business on me. Y'all trying to force me to do business with y'all. At the end of the day, if y'all trying to...
They believe that the government is a secret for-profit private corporation and that interactions with the police are business or a form of contract. Trying to reduce everything to contract law is a big thing for sovereign citizens because they believe it allows them to opt out of everything. Because contracts, by their nature, have to be conscionable. You have to, like, know about them and opt in. And because the social contract isn't that, they think they can just exempt themselves from the social contract from laws by just claiming you're a private company, all of these laws are a contract, and I didn't agree. Not how this works. It's not a contract in the literal sense. It's pretty ridiculous.
To do business, I would like 3 forms of ID from all 3 of y'all if y'all want to do business with me.
And that's why you'll hear them call stuff like this business. No. Not in the sense he means, at least.
I did just want to let
Where are
you
you
know
getting a
that
bingo
you
card? Do we have a
tomorrow
Sobsit bingo card? I feel like we haven't used it in forever.
I mean, y'all...
be in an additional charge. I just want to...
it is what it is. So however y'all like...
No worries.
Actually, what matter of fact, let me know, I got a pen or something because I need to get y'all information because now you threatening me. That's what I'm saying. Like, why are you threatening me?
There's no threat.
You are. She just threatening. Like, she just threatened me.
She's just informing you
I'd
like
rather
what
you be
she said.
informed than not informed.
Nah, you threatening me. Like, you are, because first of all, like,
gotcha.
y'all got badges and guns and y'all, so you threatening me. Like, she's saying a final warning. Like, a final warning for what? What crime have I committed? That's what I'm trying to say. Like, what crime have I committed?
Refusal to identify.
She already went through that with you.
And rolling stop.
But what I had informed her and let her know that is that what she's saying, I don't understand. At the end of the day, like, okay. I'm talking about where's the injured party? Who's saying I did something to them? Where's the harm, injury, or loss? Who's saying that's a crime? What y'all saying right now, y'all talking about codes and vehicle. I don't understand that. I'm going from, you know what, when you need a driver's license to engage in commerce. You know that, right? You know that, right?
Incorrect.
You need a driver's license for Uber, limos, Lyft, to engage in commerce.
I mean, you do need a driver's license for those, but you don't only need a driver's license for those.
And make money, okay? And I'm not, and that's not what I'm doing. I'm traveling under a common law jurisdiction in my private owned capacity from point A to point B. So therefore, what she's saying and what you're saying, like, I don't understand it. Like, and then she threatening me, like.
There's no threat here, sir.
Yeah, she threatening me. That's what I'm saying. So my thing is this, like, so are y'all detaining me?
You are detained right now.
For what?
She just went over that you had ran a stop sign.
But I'm like, what crime? I'm asking what crime though? What actual crime have I committed?
We just explained.
All right, so
You just go in circles. You just go in circles. Like a robot on a loop.
Have our supervisor explain that to you again.
Okay, so y'all trying to force business on me. So now, can you identify yourself? Can I see 3 forms of ID from you, Miss?
3 forms of ID. I know he said that earlier and I didn't touch on it, but like, I don't even know. Does my registration count? I don't know. 3 forms. I have a driver's license. I have credit cards and debit cards. Does that count? I can get some mail. I can get my tax statements. I don't know. What do you think I'm carrying around with me?
ID.
Have I seen these 2? Let me take a look.
Get out of the vehicle.
I'm not a fiction.
I pulled that one up.
I don't understand what you're saying.
Not the second one, for sure. That's from A&E, though. A&E's pretty iffy about the stuff they'll use, but thank you for the other one. We can take a look at that.
Cause now at the end of the day, it's like, but I'm saying, but you being a public employee, you supposed to identify yourself though, since you, I know, but you actually supposed to, but you're actually, but you're trying to force me to do business with you, right? You trying to force me to do business with you? Cause that's what y'all doing. You trying to force me to do business, right? So if you trying to, so I mean, I'm saying, I sat there and offered these documents and y'all not taking them, and y'all this is.
Those documents are worthless. They are not worth the paper you printed them on because now they're covered in gibberish. Please stop assuming the papers are going to help your situation.
Tell you everything you need to know. Y'all already know what's up. Like, y'all, come on, bro. My private property. This is not stolen. You know what I'm saying? I'm not up under no contract. I'm not up under no parole or no probation contracts. I'm not up under no contract with you guys. So therefore, like, what is it? Y'all saying y'all detained, like, for what? So now y'all trying to force me to do business.
Here's a link.
So if y'all trying to force me to do...
Our sergeant's here.
Overthought says, cop hell is waking up after death at a traffic stop forever and damned to negotiate the law on the side of the road, but never making progress, like Sisyphus and his boulder. The stop never quite results in arrest.
We'll explain to you, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
The Sobsit version is in you're in court and all of the things you say get objected to and sustained. The DMV or Secretary of State's way easier these days if you make an appointment. I'd recommend it. You don't have to wait. Just make an appointment. Go to their website. They also have kiosks for a lot of things now, too. In Michigan, at least. Probably not license renewal, though. Not when you gotta take a new picture, at least.
Okay, well, I said, how you doing, man?
Pretty good, man. How are you?
I'm good. I'm 100. I'm fine, man.
You said what?
I said, I'm good. So what's going on? Like, I mean, is y'all trying to force business on me or what? What is y'all, like, what's the problem? Like, what crime have I committed is what I'm trying to figure out.
This Officer Torres already explained you failed to stop at the stop sign.
I mean, are you the watch commander or no?
I'm the sergeant on duty, supervisor.
Okay, well, what I'm saying, all right, and what I asked them is, what crime have I actually committed? Like, where's the harm, injury, or loss? Because what she's saying to me, she's speaking in codes. Like, she's talking about vehicle codes, and I'm not driving. I'm traveling. I'm going from point A to point B.
How is there not at least one person at every department who knows how to handle this at this point? Jesus Christ.
In my private capacity, in my own private property, in my own private automobile, which is not stolen. I'm not up under no contract with you guys at all. I'm not under no contract. I'm not under no parole, no probation contract. I'm not under anything. So therefore, you guys would have to show me and have an injured party around here saying that I actually committed a crime, that I actually tried to steal.
The most recent Black's Law Dictionary doesn't define driving as consisting of commerce. It never has. It's always been a misreading. It has never defined it as commerce. They are just wrong and always have been. But even that wording hasn't been around since like the 30s or 40s. So it's been almost a century. I've literally heard sovereign citizens be like, but the newer Black's Law's dictionaries have been corrupted by them, by the deep state or whatever, so... just reality is whatever they want it to be. They just get to pretend and get their windows smashed and pretend it's fairy dust sprinkling their face.
kill, I tried to harm, or I vandalized their property in order for you guys to try to force.
4th edition is the last one that they take seriously.
Because you right now at like y'all been holding me for a while now. So now it's starting to be to where y'all trying to force business on me, and that young lady back there threatened me. You know what I'm saying? So if she's threatening me, that right there, she sat there and going against the constitutional law.
Correct, depraved ambiance.
Period. Point blank. So therefore, like you guys have to tell me what crime have I actually committed? Because what she's saying, I don't understand, bro, at all. I don't understand what she's talking about. Period. So that's what I'm saying. So I don't like.
What can I address you by?
What?
What can I address you by?
Hey man, you know it don't even at this point right now. I don't even answer questions, bro. For real, I don't answer questions.
Well, so
that's what I'm saying. Like
you want me to explain to you what's going on. So what can I address you by while I talk to you?
I mean, you can tell me what crime I have committed.
From California?
You can tell me what crime have I committed, sir?
Okay.
And tell me if am I being detained, bro?
Right now.
Am I being
for
what though? What for what? What crime have I committed, man? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Whether
What crime have I committed?
Driving, you still have to abide by Arizona revised statute traffic laws.
Man.
So as you were traveling, you failed to stop for the stop sign. So
Man,
that's why she pulled you over.
But at the end of the day, I'm telling you, I don't understand what you're saying. I don't understand what she's saying. I don't understand what y'all talking about.
Do you know what a stop sign is?
Man, I don't understand. I don't even answer questions.
Okay, if you don't understand what a stop sign is, you shouldn't be on the road, period. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? I know he's using understand differently. I explained it earlier, but it's still frustrating hearing him say that. I should be on the road operating this automobile, but I'm going to tell you I don't know what a stop sign is. The most basic road signal.
Okay, do you know what a stop sign is?
I don't answer questions, bro. I'm not obligated. I'm not obligated because I haven't committed a crime.
Okay.
So where's the crime? I'm asking.
I already told you what you did. You failed
bro,
to stop.
What you saying is you talking in codes, bro.
That's not.
You're talking in codes, bro. Yeah, you're talking in codes. You is talking in codes.
What documentation were you trying to give?
This will tell you everything you need to know, bro. That right there will tell you that's my notice of intent and claim the rights right there. That'll tell you everything you need to know. You should identify that, you know what I'm saying, and we can go from there, bro. Other than that, I'ma take it like y'all kidnapping me and y'all threatening me at this point, bro.
No one's threatening you, no one's kidnapping you.
Nah, that young lady back there, she already threatened me, bro.
Who's Darnell? Go check the computer quick. Want to check?
I want to know what the paperwork says. GamerG with 100 bits says, since we're on the subject of soft sits and laws, I thought you'd want to know about this. Take a look. The Filled Cheese Law, 1896, 54th Congress, first session. An act defining cheese and also imposing a tax upon and regulating the manufacture, sale, importation, and exportation of filled cheese. For the purposes of this act, certain substances and compounds shall be known and designated as filled cheese, namely all substances made of milk or skim milk with the admixture of butter, animal oils or fats, vegetable or any other oils or compounds foreign to such milk and made in imitation or semblance of cheese. Section 3, that special taxes are imposed as follows. Manufacturers of filled cheese shall pay $400 for each and every factory per annum. Wonder if that's the same. Do you have to, if you own a cheese factory, do you still have to pay them $400 per factory per year? That'd be pretty great. That's great, though. That's fun. Cheese taxation law of 1896. That's when the government stopped being the government, when they started taxing the cheese. This is my 1776 moment. More like 1896 moment. No taxing the cheese.
Go look at the descriptors, or ask dispatch what the descriptors are.
Thank you, MH Dark Beast, for the link. Captain Squid says no cheese taxation without cheese representation. Very true. Okay, back to almost on a hype train. Where does Cheese Whiz fit? It would probably be under the definition of that. Actually, that might be a cheese product. It might be legally distinct. Cheese products might be legally distinct from cheeses. Not sure.
Is that correct?
I don't answer questions, man.
Well, I'm asking you because this paperwork here says Eric.
Bittergrin, thanks for the 100 bits and kicking off a hype train. Tea with Goblins with 100 bits says no taxation with representation. Ooh, that's pretty good.
Stating is what it is, bro.
The French cheese was amazing. I'm sure it was, Jimmy. You should have brought me some. 20% to level 1 on the hype train.
I don't answer questions, man. That's why I'm saying I told you everything.
Nemesaur was just waiting for a hype train, weren't you? Nemesaur, thank you for gifting 20 tier 1 subs and getting us over 100 subs for the month. Appreciate it. Subs are always a wonderful way to support the channel. Helps you not get ads. Helps other people not get ads if you'd like to gift them. It's always wonderful, and if you want to support the show, I would always recommend gifting subs or subscribing yourself, either with your own money or with Amazon Prime. Thank you. That's the read. That's me reading my thing.
You needed to know. Like, that's why I'm saying I'm
Nemesaur.
still trying to figure out, like, what crime I've committed. Like, where's the injured party? Who is saying I did something to them, bro? Like, at this point, y'all pretty much abusing y'all authority and going against the my constitutional rights. Y'all going against my constitutional rights at this point, bruh. That's what I'm saying. Like,
you don't have a constitutional right to drive a car without a license. That's not how this works. The 14th Amendment that also allows for your right to travel means that you are allowed to travel between the states freely. It does not provide for a means of travel.
At the end of the day, y'all, all four of y'all, I don't know how many it is back there, whatever y'all got going on, but y'all need to identify yourself. I need 3 forms of ID if y'all trying to do business with me, because at this point, you must be trying to do business with me? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Are you trying to do business with me? You want to get sued?
No, we're trying to get your identification. So
But what I'm saying is, like, y'all obviously must want to get sued because y'all took an oath to uphold the Constitution, to protect and serve the people. And right now, y'all threatening me and y'all trying to force business on me. Y'all trying to...
What about American cheese? Does it count as cheese or plastic? First of all, don't eat Kraft singles. There is good American cheese. Get it from a deli. Get good American cheese. It exists. It's a cheese product. It's made of, basically the byproducts of cheese. And it's really good on grilled cheese and cheeseburgers. People shit on American cheese when they really should be shitting on Kraft singles, which are disgusting. Don't buy Kraft singles. Get some nice deli American cheese.
Force business on me. So if y'all trying to force business and y'all want to do business, just how y'all trying to ask me for an ID, I need an ID. Y'all need to identify yourself. Cause I need to handle my business if that's what y'all want to do.
I would imagine if you asked them, like, their badge numbers or names, they'd give them to you, but you are still required at a traffic stop to provide identification. That is something that you need to do.
Want to handle business?
You can shut the fuck up otherwise, but you do need to identify yourself.
And y'all want to do business, then I need identification from all 4 of y'all.
Try number 9 for the stop sign. We'll get out here.
71% to level 4 with 2 minutes left on the hype train. Oh, Overthought, what did you want for the Black's Law Dictionary request?
There's no 28, there's no 42.
Sorry, I missed that. Party. That's gonna be like an individual. It's gonna be party in the sense of like a party to a legal matter. Let's see.
So y'all not finna identify yourself?
We already did. I'm actually got to the.
Nah, but I'm saying, but I'm saying though, bro. Like obviously y'all detaining me and y'all pretty much violating my rights now, bro.
No, we're not
so
violating
you are violating my rights, bro.
I've watched this one before, but I don't know if I watched it on stream. So that might be what you are remembering, Baha, me watching it like at home. Well, I am at home, but you know what I mean. Off the clock. Stone Corbell, thanks for gifting a sub. 84% to level 4 with a minute left. We're so close. I believe in you, chat. Someone will gift sub or something.
Because I sat there and already and told you what's going on, and you pretty much now you're forcing business on me. So if you're forcing business on me, then you need to identify yourself, because anybody can be dressed up and in the disguise and have a badge and have a gun on their hip. Y'all threatened me. That lady already threatened me.
It's a team of 3 completely different people pretending to be cops. It's impressive. 30 seconds left on the hype train. Sorry, looking for party. Party, noun, a person concerned or having or taking part in any affair, matter, transaction, or proceeding, considered individually. A party to an action is a person whose name is designated on record as a plaintiff or defendant. Term in general means one having right to control proceedings, to make defense, to adduce and cross-examine witnesses, and to appeal from judgment. Tea Time Tea with 300 bits says, here are some bits. Thank you. 92% to level 4. Oh, we were so close. Thank you for the hype train, everyone. Right, as Bunny Queen, thanks for 31 months. That probably would have done it if it was quicker. Bummer. Thank you. 92% to level 4. Appreciate it.
Back there, bro. Period, point blank. Y'all, that lady threatened me. So if she gonna threaten me, y'all forcing me and y'all holding me here, now you need to identify yourself, bro. And I need 3 forms of ID. I need 3 forms though.
Okay.
For real. Like I need the badge number, I need your business card, and I need your ID, bro. Cause obviously you trying to force business and you want to do business with me.
Injured doesn't always equal physical harm, and parties don't mean physical people. Yeah, injured can mean psychologically, emotionally harmed.
So I gotta handle that personally. Like, come on, bro. This is ridiculous.
Fines should be subject to inflation and not fixed. The Constitution says you can sue over a fine of $20, which in today's money is like $400. I think fines should also be indexed to people's, like, income. Like, if some rich asshole is speeding, a speeding ticket to them is nothing. Basically, speeding is legal. You know what I mean? There are countries that do that. Seems to work.
Please, bro.
Yeah,
And
financial
y'all
harm
already,
is a thing.
y'all bonds is already up for grabs because y'all failing to identify y'allself, for real.
He gave you his name. Don't remember if he gave a number, but he did give his name.
Hey, it's separate. So if you pay his phone,
Y'all finna get sued or what? Like, it's starting to get ridiculous, man.
Empty threats of lawsuits are just falling on deaf ears, luckily. Corey with 50 bits says, you know shit's going sideways when the cops stop talking.
I know y'all read the license plate, so y'all
Did I hear
know
about the Vietnamese woman sentenced to death for corruption? I did. I did hear about that.
what's up. This automobile, this private automobile
Not
was
big on death sentences in general, to be honest.
not stolen. Ain't nothing going on with the car, nothing. I don't know what y'all talking about, man. This is wild. This is wild, man. It's a wild situation. Y'all trying to force business on me, man. God damn.
It looks like he's wearing my fake Velma glasses. Did you just get out of a 3D film?
So my hand on the steering wheel, y'all see that? And my other hand holding the phone. So I ain't doing nothing for y'all to shoot me or nothing. We're gonna get that clear.
Almost done, Mr. Duck Sauce.
okay, hold on.
Oh, good. They got him the ticket.
Just drop it. That's your citation. Court date's on the bottom, and your time and address where you need to appear in court. All right. Want to explain that to him?
Yep. Do you have any questions? If you want to go ahead and take a look at it, but
That was so much, and he's not even gonna pay this ticket.
It's at the bottom. It's going to be for two charges. The first charge being the stop sign, the other charge being failure to ID. It is a criminal charge. So, do you have any questions?
Nah, but I would like y'all to have a good night.
Sorry?
I said, nah, but I would like y'all to have a good night.
I hope you have a good night too.
Passive aggression.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah, he got a criminal charge out of that. He went from probably a warning, at worst a ticket, to a criminal offense. That's, not great. Not great. Not awesome. He did a response video to someone responding to his video, and we're gonna look at that for just a minute and see what he says. Metamodernism's a bitch. We're gonna watch a reaction to a reaction. We're gonna react to a reaction to a reaction.
What are you talking about?
Did you know that there's a simple combination of natural ingredients that will help
Oh wow, he doesn't even have an ad blocker or YouTube Premium.
you poop out pounds of old rotten waste in your colon within just a matter of days?
I'm sorry, he's getting ads for stuff to make you shit out pounds of poop? What is he watching?
And without the side effects commonly associated with.
Just want to let you know.
Hey, but so what we doing is I'm reacting. Well, I'm responding to this dude Val Balian. You know what I'm saying? Actually doing a reaction.
Van Balian.
To my original video of me getting stopped by Scottsdale PD for allegedly failing to stop at a stop sign. You know what I mean? Make sure y'all comment, like, share, and subscribe. You know what I'm saying? Let's go.
I'm giving you one more opportunity to provide ID to be in an additional church.
Because now you threatening me. That's what I'm saying. Like, why are you threatening me? The intro was alright.
Welcome back to the Van Balian channel, guys. Today we head to Scottsdale, Arizona, where a whiny sovereign citizen and SoundCloud rapper, apparently, gets pulled over for a
I ain't whine, not one bit. I'm not no sovereign citizen, and I'm not
You're doing the sovereign citizen thing, you absolutely are.
a SoundCloud rapper. So,
What website do you post your stuff to? Because he did show, I think, your SoundCloud.
Double win.
It's fine if you're a SoundCloud rapper, I don't give a shit. Let's take a look. SoundCloud. Okay, so he is on SoundCloud. He's some sort of musician. Let's see. Sounds like you're a SoundCloud rapper, but whatever. I don't consider that derogatory either. It's just what you do. It's fine.
Amy, let's go.
in a traffic violation and effortlessly turns a warning into criminal charges when he refuses to identify, because identifying is contracting with the police, apparently. Right.
It's not. Just shaking your head yes doesn't make it true.
Right, let's get into the video.
Okay, do you have your driver's license?
I don't. Do I have what?
Your driver's license, registration, insurance?
What I'm doing is actually, I am traveling under a common law jurisdiction. I'm not driving. Okay.
Do you have your driver's license?
I got these documents for you.
You think I could do a decent Sobsit rap? I can't rap. So no.
I'm gonna also need your driver's
Unless
license.
it's Ice Ice Baby, then I kill it.
Okay, well, I'm telling you that I'm not driving.
We're not going to watch the whole thing, H. Baird. I know that would be incredibly redundant. We might watch more of this another day, though. This is the guy from the video.
If you want to look up Arizona law, it's a must provide driver's license.
Okay, well, I'm telling you though, under a common law jurisdiction, look at her, looking like Val Kilmer. Hey, but
Like Val Kilmer.
she seemed like a straight rookie for real. She ain't been on duty that long. Let's go. I'm not driving. I'm traveling.
Okay, I'm already moving on. This guy's an idiot. Sorry. Let's go! Yeah, okay. Shut the fuck up. Oh, let's give this a try. What's this one?
Mr. Richard, are you able to activate your camera?
I can, but I'm moving stuff around at the same time.
Okay, well, we can
multitask.
well, let's just go ahead. I don't know if you were listening in when we were talking about your case. As you know, we've been waiting for the doctors to talk with you to see whether or not you're able to go forward on this matter.
I'm assuming they found he was? GamerG says, is it just me or has sovereign citizenry gotten more diverse in the past few years? It looks like the woke mind virus has no bounds and will infect everyone with DEI. JK. I feel like when I start, I'd have to go back and do like an analysis of like my first bit of doing this, but it felt like the videos did tend to used to be mostly white guys, and now it's almost like the ratio has flipped, and it's not. It's mostly like American black guys, and I don't know why, but it is something I've noticed, which is weird. Someone who is an actual statistician or sociologist, do something with that information. I don't know. But it is an anecdote. So I don't know why. And it sucks, because being a non-white person, saying no to the cops and arguing with them is going to put you in a dangerous situation. It's dangerous enough if you're a white guy doing that. If you're not, it's going to be even worse, potentially.
And there is now
Like, don't get me wrong, sovereign citizens are wrong, but for the most part, they're just ignorant or delusional. Concerned for their safety.
Date set for your interview.
I don't understand. What am I meeting with a doctor for?
They need to ascertain whether you can understand the nature of the charges and whether you're able to assist your attorneys. It's a two-prong test. So that's what we've been waiting for.
I understand the nature. I'm trying to figure out the cause. You guys never tell me.
Figure out what?
I understand the nature of this case. I'm trying to figure out the cause of this case. Like, what are we here for?
Oh, also, this is non-relevant. I mean, it's a tangent, but I did want to point out, you might notice we haven't looked at Taquan lately, the guy that does the videos on how to scam banks and steal identities and do synthetic identity fraud. He hasn't posted a video in like a month. So I am curious if the law finally caught up to him. Don't know that. I haven't heard anything official. But he's not been posting videos in quite a while. So just letting you know.
Well, you've been charged with the criminal offense of...
Do people ever try to tank the competency hearing? Have you ever seen One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest?
Driving while you're
There are reasons why that's a bad idea.
License is suspended in the 3rd degree and operating a vehicle without the required ignition interlock device. Those are the charges.
I've never had a license for you to suspend.
So, sir, please stop talking about the facts of the case. This is your attorney.
Who?
Oh, he's about to say something so bad.
This is Sean Parent, one of your attorneys, so please don't talk about the facts of the case.
Oh, well, I'm not denying any of the facts. I'm just...
Oh, that's the opposite of what you would want to say. I'm not denying any of the prosecution's allegations. I say this as the defendant. A good thing to say for my defense. Oh, God damn it. Shut the fuck up. It's always shut the fuck up Friday. Get a lawyer. Listen to the lawyer. The lawyer's mouth should be moving. Yours should be shut. Ugh. Idiot.
letting you know that that's,
Well-
I'm letting you know what I understand is what I'm saying. She asked me if I understand, and I'm trying to answer the question. I'm letting her know what I understand. And I'm trying to figure out what's making me, what are you trying to call it? Incompetent? Is that what
And the Fifth Amendment flies out the window. Oh, yeah.
you're trying to say I am?
Yes, there's legal competency and it's two prongs, whether you can understand the nature of the charges and whether you're able to assist. So right now, there's a question about whether you are able to proceed, and that's why we're having the doctors talk to you. That's
Why
the
can't I just
current
ask
status.
why can't I just ask the judge? Like what
Well, I
doesn't the
am,
judge know?
I am the judge, and I need those doctors to give me their opinion when they review your records and speak to you, and then we'll get a
Well,
report back. So right
Well,
now, you're
I
finally
never gave
being
my consent for
interviewed.
that. So I'm trying to get the answers from you. Like I'm in here talking to you.
And I'm telling you that you need to speak to these doctors on April 24th at 9 a.m.
And why do I need to talk to a doctor? I'm still not understanding. Like I'm trying to figure out why are we really here?
He literally did this segment from Game Changers. So
Zach and Brennan.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait. Hold on. Wrong tab. There it is.
Zach and Brennan.
Mm-hmm.
A defendant stupidly interrupting his lawyer's closing remarks.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, over the past 4 days, you have seen state's prosecutor attempt to effectively bamboozle you with a series of hearsay arguments and loose speculative evidence, placing my client near the scene of the crime during the time of the murder. You are tasked to consider the evidence and whether it proves beyond a reasonable doubt whether my client is guilty. Is my client a perfect man? No.
I killed him, yeah.
Did I fuck up? Zach and
Fucking love Game Changer.
Because
everybody do the weenus. The weenus is a dance. Everyone's a genius that knows it in advance. Marcus Drake says, intake has a saying in our office, client has the right to remain silent, but not the ability. Yeah.
Because you're charged with the crime, and I need to make sure that you are legally
I miss doing improv.
competent to
Need to find an improv group and humiliate myself.
proceed in this matter.
What is the name of the crime?
I told you it's driving while license suspended, 3rd degree, and operating a vehicle without an ignition interlock device.
Is there any injured parties? Is there somebody willing to go on the stand and say that I actually committed a crime? Who has a claim against me? Like that's what I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to settle the matter. I'm not arguing the facts. I'm just trying to take care of this and
And we cannot proceed while your ability to understand the nature of the charges and to assist your attorney is at issue. We cannot proceed.
We're wasting
So we are
time
in this
because I could
status.
just ask you. That's what I'm
And
saying.
I'm telling you right now, so the next hearing
Brennan won $50,000 on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
will be
Interesting.
hopefully with a report in hand. You will have had your interview on April 24th at 9 a.m. Mr. Parent, you know where he would be going for that?
I'm not sure if it's going to be at the Shoreline Courthouse or down at our office in Kent, or possibly at the courthouse in Kent. Kind of depends on where he lives.
You have good contact with Mr. Richard?
Yeah, we have a good phone number for him.
Okay.
So we will be able to keep in touch with him.
Okay, so Mr. Richard, they're going to meet with you on the 24th.
How?
And would it take about a week or two, Mr. Parent?
Are
Do you
they
think
gonna
you can report
come
back?
meet me somewhere or something? Like what are they about to do?
Let's have him return on May 6th.
Well, like I said, you don't have my consent.
Actually,
to
May
send
1.
me to
Let's
a
do May
doctor.
1.
So I don't know why you think I have to go see a doctor when I could just ask you all the questions that's stopping us from going forward. I told you I'm trying to settle the matter. I don't know what's going on.
Right. We keep trying to explain that to you, Mr. Richard. The reason is you're going to have to talk to these doctors and we'll get some additional information.
All right,
So
cool.
your
Okay, well,
next hearing will be
has there
on
been,
May
When
1st.
he says he doesn't understand, he's trying to absolve himself of the authority of the court, of the jurisdiction of the court. They think I don't understand means I do not stand under your authority.
has there been a guilty plea that has been put into record?
No, we
No, we're in pre-trial. You're getting a competency evaluation.
can't do that because we have to determine whether or not you're able to proceed in this case.
So there is no plea that's been put in file,
There's a plea of not guilty that's been entered.
and who put that in?
You had a first appearance and you are unable to plead guilty. So a not guilty plea has been entered on your behalf and we are.
Yeah, when you stand mute, they automatically do not guilty because you're presumed innocent until proven guilty. It's the burden of the state to prosecute you and actually prove beyond a reason of a doubt, or beyond a, why am I blanking on the verbiage right now?
Are waiting to
Beyond a reasonable suspicion that you are guilty.
have the doctors talk to you.
How
And this has
can
been going
somebody-
on for quite some time, Mr. Richard.
How can somebody
Reasonable
put a plea in
doubt. Jesus Christ.
for me? That makes no sense.
Reasonable articulable
Doesn't the attorney
suspicion
have-
is for searches and stuff.
To do what I ask them to do, or they're acting in
If it's not
dishonor?
something where you need
If
consent.
they don't do what I tell them to do?
All of this confusion that's going on right now is many examples of why we need this evaluation to take place. So
No,
I
how?
need you, we're going to
Because I
end
have
your
questions
hearing,
for the judge?
Mr. Richard.
I have questions for the judge, and you're just saying that I'm incompetent. Like, why can't I get the answers from you? Do you not know your own laws?
I cannot go forward until I get a report from the doctors.
And why is there a doctor that needs to be involved in this? This is
Because you're acting quite irrational, and they're not sure if you are able to understand the gravity and magnitude of what is happening.
what do you say? A traffic matter?
Okay, I'm going to conclude this hearing. I believe that we need a report from the doctors based upon your answers, and this has been going on for
I just
quite
just
some
told you, like,
time.
I'm not denying any of the facts. So why do we need to see a
You
doctor?
said it again.
Can I just pay for can I just settle the fines that you have in
There's
this case?
a
Can I
criminal
just do that
charge
and
with
get this over
jail.
with? Huh?
All right, so
What'd you say?
Shit, there's a criminal charge in here.
it's a criminal charge with jail. It's not just paying a fine, Mr. Richard. So we are going to set this over. May 1st will be the next date you come back to court. And I will
Well-
ask that you follow through and attend that evaluation on April 24th.
You just told me
And that
this was
Mr.
criminals,
Parent
right?
is going to make sure you know where you need to go.
But you just told me this was criminal, right? So why can't I just settle the fines?
You might genuinely be incompetent.
Because criminal
This might
is
not be intentional sobsit obtuseness. He might really not understand.
it's not about fines. It's about
It is frustrating.
jail time as well. So
Like, he is just not hearing. He is not listening. He is not hearing. Like, jail time is on the table. You cannot just pay fines. That's not what this is.
Why does somebody get jail time for something that they never had? I've never had a driver's license.
That doesn't help your case. That's
Mr.
hurting
Richard,
it. What
that
do you do?
follow through and attend that evaluation on April. It's not just paying a fine, Mr. Richard. So we are going to set this over. May 1st will be the next date you come back to court. And I will
Well-
ask that you follow through and attend that evaluation on April 24th.
You just
And
told me
that
this was
Mr.
criminals,
Parent
right?
is going to make sure you know where you need to go.
But you just told me this was criminal, right? So why can't I just settle the fines?
Because criminal is not about fines. It's about jail time as well. So
And why does somebody get jail time for something that they never had? I've never had a driver's license.
Mhm. Okay, so we are done with your case today,
I'll ignore that.
Mr. Richard. Thank you. We'll get that date out to you.
Well, you don't have my consent, so like I said, I don't know what you think I'm.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, I don't think he's gonna pass that competency evaluation. I hope he gets help. Because Jesus Christ, he does not know what's going on. Okay, let's see what else. Everybody do the weenus. The weenus is a dance. Everyone's a genius that knows it in advance. Stuck in my head forever. Forever and ever. I have to use the bathroom. When I come back, we will look at...
Perfect.
The judge. We're fucked. Be back in just a moment once I get this untangled. Be right back. Hello. See what Marcel's been up to.
Okay, great. So welcome everybody. This is technically our April meeting, even though we're doing it on, I believe it's May 2nd. Thank you guys for joining me. We're going to be going through a number of things tonight that are on my mind. The main thing is extending a few things to you guys so you guys can start.
If anyone's not familiar with Marcel, he is a sovereign citizen who runs basically a sovereign citizen scam MLM. He tries to sell these packages to people and get them to recruit other people into his program. It's a whole shit show.
Start making money. I'm going to go through kind of an overview on the month, what it's been. It's been a little bit of a choppy month, not just for us, but for other groups and stuff as well. And just kind of talk about, you know, when you go through hard times, what that's like and how you deal with it. And then again, we're going to get back to the money stuff because I know everyone needs to make money. And we're at the point we've had some development. So I'm going to turn some things over to you guys to allow you to earn more money. So first thing I'll do is just say hi, everybody. Thank you, everybody, for coming. It's nice to see your faces. If you're here in this meeting, you are in my good books, just so you know.
For now, Marcel tends to turn on people immediately when they push back even a little bit.
I thinned our client base a little bit over the last month. I got rid of a few people who just had poor attitudes and things like that. So one thing I'll update you guys with, and a few of you may have heard, TD closed our account. They didn't provide any reasoning.
Oh my god, is he finally getting caught for this shit? Is it TD Ameritrade? I don't know if they're still the same company or if it's in Canada. Either way, did his fraudulent bank account finally get seized? His whole thing is opening these, like, trust bank accounts, but then having people deposit their paychecks into them. His whole thing is he lies and tells these people, oh, I'll set up a sovereign society for you with this bank account, and you won't have to pay income taxes and all sorts of bullshit, basically. He's, in my opinion, a scammer who takes money from people to teach them illegal fraud shit. How to hide money from the government, basically. He's not smart enough to get away with it, if anyone even is. I don't think you should. But he's certainly not the one who'd be able to do it. Although he has claimed to win 500 street fights. Pretty impressive. Not helpful here, though. No. Not IRS. He's Canadian. So whatever the Canadian IRS is.
It's strictly, I believe, because I'm helping a bunch of different people open up society accounts, and some of their staff don't know what they're doing, so I chewed them out a little bit and I remind them they're a fraud.
CRA.
And stuff like that. So for that, they closed our account. Yeah, so I just want to remind everyone, having the society bank account is great. If you're in Canada, it's easy to get. In the States, it's a little bit harder. We got the EIN stuff figured out, so you guys will be able to go ahead in the States as well. But realize you don't actually have to have a society bank account. what I've done right now is
That's so funny because that was the primary service he was selling before, but now all of a sudden that his is getting closed. Don't worry, that's not that important. That was like half the selling point.
I've just opened up a personal account with a specific bank. I'm not saying which bank it is because I don't want them to close my accounts on me. But within that, I'm using my personal name for a bank account, the money going into my websites and that. Just
It's a society bank account, just like a community account like the Rotary Club. That is my understanding. I don't know the specifics because it is Canadian, but it's something along those lines, or like if you were a non-profit or something and you needed an account. Yeah, something along those lines.
goes into my personal account now. I'm still taking care of things the way I normally do as if it were a society account.
Do I think Marcel or Chilie know about each other, let alone what is happening to Chilie? I'd be pretty surprised if Marcel wasn't at least vaguely aware. I don't know if he cares, though. He's never been into the cop-watching stuff. He's more into this financial side of things, which of course is just as ridiculous, but it is a different aspect of the SovSit stuff, so. Yeah, he's more into scams than he is interacting with the public in a broad sense.
No way worried about if they try and come after me for income tax because they're a fraud and I can prove that, and I use religious exemption to not pay them regardless, even if they tried.
I'm sure that'll work. Judge, I can't pay personal income taxes. I have a religion. You're fucked. You're so fucked.
But it is still society income, so it's still not my personal income anyway. So I know some...
Except it is. It is the income that you use to live your life, that you get from your job, if you want to call it that.
Sometimes people in the States, there's a bit of a delay in getting your accounts open, or maybe you're having, you just ran into a banker that, they're being difficult or they don't know what the
Marcel used to hate watch my videos, so he might know about Chilie. True. I wonder if Marcel ever still hate watches. If so, hi Marcel. Hope you're well. Apparently your bank account got closed. Don't do fraud anymore.
Process is most people in Canada get their bank account. I'd say 8 out of 10 people get it the first time and there's no problems. Most people are still having an easy time getting that. But you have to realize we're at war. So we're not fighting the war with guns, but there are going to be times and things. I was working with one lady in Texas. We got her Canadian bank account open and then they closed it. And I just want to remind you guys, before I got my bank account, it was 2 or 3 years before we got our account. Now, we weren't trying for that amount of time. We just didn't have one for the first couple of years and I didn't know how to go about getting one. So I just ran it through my personal accounts. You can do this without having the society bank account. Obviously, it's nice to have. It's a feather in the cap. But at the end of the day, even no matter what, there's always ways to accept cash, whether it's to you personally or to really, as long as they pay.
Really smart to just keep cash stuffed under your mattress. I don't know how that would go wrong. Jamie, thanks for 32 months. Appreciate it.
Pay you for whatever your program is. It doesn't matter if it goes in your personal account, a business account, the society account. Really makes no bloody difference because at the end of the day, you're not paying income tax on it anyway. Because
he's stealing UK verbiage suddenly. Bloody? Okay.
That's all a fraud.
He is Canadian. Is that a thing in Canada too?
Fight those agencies if they ever go that route with me. They never have. In 15 years, they've never even sent us a letter. So that's kind of what happened with that. Our clients' accounts are still open for the bank accounts. We had 2 clients that had their accounts closed by TD, but the other TD accounts are all still open, and our clients with the sovereign banks and other major banks aren't having any problems at all. So it's just one of those things. As you go through this process, some things will be easier, some will be harder. Some other things that people mention to me sometimes is like the $90 a month being tough. If it's for the odd month or whatever, I understand that, no problem. And for
what's wild to me about this scam is he's asking for so much. $90 a month. That's a lot to scam out of someone. He's not even asking for like 10. I don't know.
For my
how does the scam work? Basically, you pay him every month and then he provides you with his phone number and like services, potential documents, advice, meetings. It's basically him trying to teach you quote-unquote legal loopholes and like how to start a society that exempts you from the laws of the society in which you live. None of it's real, but he gets that, and then he has people try and sign up other people and get commissions, so it's got kind of an MLM pyramid scheme structure to it.
dear friend in Alberta there. I'm not talking about you guys. But I had a client in the States who was talking to me about the $90 a month being a little tough, this and that. I personally pay about $3,000 a month right now to do this job. I don't take pay. It costs me about $3,000. So if you're paying 90 a month, it's costing me 3,000.
But you're taking their money and paying that, right? You're getting the money from your marks, so that's their money you're spending, right?
And then even just our identity document, when I did it, was $750. For you guys, it's literally $35 for the stamp from the lawyer notary. So what I tell people is when I was first starting this, there were times
Green guy with a $3 tip says, "Here, Hannah, now you have to pay taxes on it." Thank you.
we didn't have cash. So I'm not insensitive to things being tight. Things happen. I get that. But if day in, day out, you just don't have enough money, go cut some lawns, go shovel a driveway, go babysit someone's kids. Like there's always a way to get money. And until your society is making you money.
That's so fucked up, isn't it? I know things are tight, but keep giving me money. Go get odd jobs if you have to. What's important is that Marcel keeps getting your money.
You may have to get a little creative on how you're doing that. Maybe do a bake sale. Like just, you need to make money in your own life, and $90 a month for anyone here. This doesn't really apply to you guys. I'm just kind of sharing what I've been through this month and some of the reactions people get to me. I'm not always sympathetic when people are, oh, I don't have this, I don't have that. To me, you have time. If you use your time properly, you'll have what you need. If you don't have what you need, it's because you're not using your time properly.
Wow, that's a really shitty worldview. If you're hurting, it must be your own fault. There's no possible situation in which things can just be fucked. God.
But within that, we do have things you can do to fundraise. So some of the things I've done in the past is the chocolate covered almonds that kids sell for $3. We put a raffle draw ticket around it. We sell it for $20 a box. People sell 5 to 10 of those an hour.
Ew.
So if you're selling 5 boxes at $20 a piece, that's $100 an hour.
Can you legally just do a raffle like that?
That each individual going up
that requires a purchase? I don't know. In America, I don't think you're supposed to do that.
Banging doors can make per hour.
This is enraging. Why doesn't this motherfucker mow some lawns? Because he's special. Toreador says this is just prosperity gospel with more threatening government officials.
Our community food program, anybody can run that. Each person collecting food and or money in your neighborhood will bring between $30 a day and $200 a day, and a hockey.
Wait, what are you talking about?
Bag full of food.
But you're supposed to be given that to, if people are donating money and food for hunger, that's not income. That's supposed to go to hungry people. Are you acting? It sounds like you're telling people to quote unquote raise money and groceries for the poor, but then in reality just take the money? Is that what I just heard?
Like huge hockey bags full of food in a 4-hour shift. The other thing that I'm extending to you guys now, and this you can be excited about, this is good news. So I'm going to tell a little bit of a backstory on how we got to this point. So you guys may have seen Super Jen in some of our previous meetings. We had hired her to help.
This is supposed to be a witch outfit. We're doing costume month, and every day people are voting on a costume. I have a witch costume. I couldn't find the top, so I put this on, which is witchy, and I have the hat.
Us.
Speaking of which, join the Discord if you'd like to vote on the rest of Costume Month.
Basically, in my own life, I speak very plainly. If I think someone's an idiot, I call them an idiot. If someone frustrates me, I tell them to go F themselves. I'm not politically correct like that, and I never will be. So through me being my natural self, and Super Jen's known me for about 10 years, but I just offended her delicacies, and then she tried asking a bunch more money, told her couldn't do it. So she's moved on. And then Lorena, who is working with me.
You mean offended her sensibilities?
She basically went out to the carbon tax protests. Protests are great at raising awareness, but the way I describe protests is it's like honking your horn to pick up a girl. If you're a guy, pretty girl, she's going to look at you, but does that actually get her phone number or get her in your life? Probably not.
I don't know, Marcel. You seem to have experience being a creep. You tell me.
So it's kind of the same thing with protests. Protests are great for raising awareness. Do them. I'm not saying protests are bad. But when she had gone to that protest and then come back, she had taken the Friday off. She was supposed to work. She came back. And then on the Monday morning, she's talking to me about a bunch of emails I was going to read anyway. And I had other things that were more important and on my mind. So I told her to stop. She had an emotional reaction. I explained to her that
I like that Marcel alienates himself from absolutely every person he's ever met, and then he always blames the other person. Very strange. Toreador, thank you for a link. Let's see what this is.
About that customer's secret illegal account. Oh crap. I shouldn't have said it was a customer. Oh crap. I shouldn't have said it was a secret. Oh crap. I certainly shouldn't have said it was illegal.
the people that she was going and protesting with are basically a bunch of idiots because it's not actually a real solution. Much as it makes you feel good and you're having a great time eating, you know, hot dogs at an event, you're not actually changing anything with the protest. You're not claiming your rights. You're not going to change anything through politicians. Nothing in the legal system is going to change. So all these groups that think they're going to rewrite the Constitution or things like that, they're just wrong. And
reminder that Marcel thinks he's going to take over the world governments by just signing people up for his MLM.
It's unfortunate. So basically what I've realized is because of my personality type.
How would you self-describe that? Just curious. Intense, maybe?
I'm not going to have a lot of success at building teams in my office. So my entire top floor of my office is now my personal office. But the other thing is I get along really, really good with 50 to 60% of the population. And
what about the other half?
The other 40 to 50% are either kind of soft in their life. They've had an easy life, which is great for them, but I'm not sympathetic when they whine to me.
He sounds like the worst boss ever, doesn't he? I don't have time when people whine.
Super Jen. In some of our previous meetings, we had hired her to help us.
Sorry, I skipped ahead,
which is great for them, but I'm not sympathetic when they whine to me. Who's
laughing? Someone else on the call. This is supposed to be a mentorship call for the people who pay him money, so he's in a call with other people.
So like in the last month, I told probably about 10 clients to straight up take a hike and never call me again. I was just done with them. They're whining about stupid things, or they're just whining about the process, or they had a setback and they're treating it like they're going to quit because the first bank they went to didn't open their account or something. If that's your attitude, you don't deserve freedom. Bottom line, I've been punched out by police.
You don't deserve freedom.
Police, I've been arrested.
Oh God, I feel like Marcel tends to have a cycle of like mild-mannered and then he ratchets up to really intense. He puts on the cape and tells people he's gonna rule everyone. It's a little megalomaniacal. You know how it is. I feel like he's inching closer to that part of the cycle, which is really unfortunate.
15 times I've been broke. I, on average, go through 2 to 5 homes a year. I've lived at
That's not typical.
My office for the last probably 5 years. I have no friends. I have no family. Like I'm not the guy to come through for sympathy, but I appreciate people need some bedside manner. So this is where you guys come in. So this is the good announcement. So because I'm a little bit too much of an a-hole on occasion, normally I'm great, but that 5-10%
He's not funny, Alan. Stop sucking up.
Makes it, people don't like my personality always. I am going to...
Isn't he literally bipolar? I believe he has said that he has been diagnosed with that, yes.
To empower...
Really unfortunate.
For all of you to start holding founding events. It's going to be a flat rate of $1,000 for people that want the paperwork. It'll be a one-time fee. They pay it. They get the university coaching. They get the paperwork. They're out the door on their own. If they want coaching, they can pay for that extra. We'll include so much of the university. Certain dollar amounts will have a month.
Has he commented on the whole being arrested thing at any point? Yeah, for those who don't know, Marcel went to jail for a while for threatening a provincial governor in Canada. Directly threatened violence against him. I don't think he mentioned it. I think he mentioned it maybe briefly, but not in any substantive way. No.
3 months or 6 months. And basically, if you guys want to, you don't have to, by the way, anyone who doesn't want to do this, you don't have to. But at $1,000 per society, I'm going to do a 50-50 split with you guys. So they pay $1,000, you get 500, we get 500.
You just gotta find someone to give you $1,000. That's easy, right?
So if you do...
Again, he does pull people into his scams, but his price tag is always so high. I'm actually thankful, because if it was cheaper, I think he'd pull in way more people.
A local event, 10 people come to a society, that's $5,000 in your pocket. So that's what I'm bringing for you guys now. Before you had a non-compete clause, it's still in effect, but I'm authorizing you guys to do founding events.
Wait, he has them sign non-compete clauses? That's pretty funny.
It can take as little as 20 minutes for someone to sign their paperwork, or it can take about 2 hours if you guys read through it all together. The main thing is just having the society templates, and then we have a freedom booklet that has information and stuff in it. So I'll provide that to you guys. All you have to do is just let me know what day you're doing your event. If you want to host it in your home, that's fine. If you want to rent a church basement, or if you have a hookup,
You know, like a Mary Kay makeup party.
someone has a meeting
but
space.
Sadder.
Basically, you just need.
H-Beard says, I knew I'd heard this before. See what this link is.
Get the education. Borrow money if you have to from your parents. Start a business.
Everyone's parents have money, right? And everyone has relationships with their parents.
2 other founders, so 2 people to be silent founders for the client opening the society, and 3 witnesses. So you'll have 5 people there to be the signatures, so they can just bring in their paperwork, they plus your 5, and then their society is literally founded that day. There's a question here. Hold on, let me go into chat. Rusty, go ahead.
Hey, so the split, the 50-50 split, what if we don't hold like an event to do that? What if it's
if it's like one person that
or
wants
somebody
to
on the
do it,
street?
it's fine. If you do it, like, because you will
As
have
long as you give me money, it's cool.
some people that it's an individual, they're ready right then. You were absolutely able to go ahead and do it.
I also want you all to know that if anyone gives you $1,000, that's fine if you give me 500 of it.
Encouraging the
The general rule.
events, just
Any way you get $1,000, I'm happy if you give me half.
if you get more people, you'll have more
I'm
people sign at
magnanimous
once.
like
But
that.
yeah, if you have somebody willing to do it, absolutely. You just need enough people at your home that you have 6 signatures total. So
Right. I'm trying to, so I'm involved with Tactical Civics. So you probably heard about that.
Tactical civics, fuck, we've looked at that before. What is that? Wasn't that like a weird Christian nationalist thing? Tactical civics. Oh boy.
It's the most brazen crime since 9/11. But everybody knows that election 2020 and our entire republic.
I see. Oh boy. Oh.
Are you concerned about the direction our country is headed? Tactical Civics is the only full-spectrum solution that is taking America back, one county at a time. If you would like to learn more about how you can help restore America and impact the lives of your kids, grandkids, and future generations, it is time to act now.
This is feeling 14 wordsy.
Register to attend an upcoming Tactical Civics introductory meeting being held in Fort Myers. To register,
Every single one of those pictures was of white people. I just want to point that out.
or learn more, go to
Every single
tcofl.com.
one.
That's
And there were a
TCOF.
decent number of pictures. Oh, yikes. Yikes, 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 yikes.
He states, Fathers gave us everything we'll present in this video except
Woo!
Would you be opposed to like a
Seems like 3%er shit, basically.
bunch of people at Tactical Civics meeting? Can I
Cover it next Chud Watch? Yeah, that would probably make sense.
call that an event, or
yeah, I don't
and
care
if I can get a
where
bunch
you
of
guys.
people to sign up?
Yeah, it makes no difference to me. Like if there's already a group and they just want to have you in to host it and do it, no problem. It's just it's a minimum of $1,000 per society. They got $1,000, they get a society. I really don't care where you guys do it or how you do it. Really makes no difference to me. What we've done, just so you guys know, is we've started doing where everyone who signs up, there's a one-time sign-up gift of
3%ers are a group in the United States that are basically right-wing militant extremists who get their name from a pretty sure untrue historical myth that only 3% of Americans had any actual action in the Revolutionary War or something, which might align with, like, actual enlistment numbers or people in militias, but, like, not on people's positions and civically their actions during the war. Anyway, it's basically an allusion to the Revolutionary War and their want to take action against the government and reform it in their image, which is a far-right thing.
$500. And then if they're anything that's commercial or whatever, it's $500. So that's where we've been getting for the last few weeks, a lot of people signing up, and we're getting $1,000 to sign up, no problem.
I should add militias to my repertoire. Do they put out a lot of videos? I feel like that's the setup to a smash cut, to a montage of 1,000 cringe militia videos. Christopher Bay with a $10 super chat says, I think we'd like this guy a lot better if he was Marcel of the family Marco. That joke went over my goddamn head.
So that price point is quite fair. And then with what you guys are doing, people will just be doing the personal ones as well, but it'll still be the $1,000 because they're just doing a one-time gift.
Thank you for the super chat, though.
But again, aside from the online coaching, there's no support. If they want extra support, they'll have to pay extra. Go ahead. You had another question?
They also have shown interest in possibly having you like
Marcel Marceau was a famous mime. I'm not up on my mime lore. Starry Night, thanks for a 75 stream streak.
on a TV or in person or a Zoom call or something, to kind of explain it like you do, you know.
Yeah, so what I'm doing is basically on YouTube, I have a meet and greet video. And also on allrightsreserveduniversity.org, the very first heading for the Competent Air course, there's no code for it. So you can send people that, and that's my meet and greet video. That's exactly what I would say to them. I've done enough meet and greets and enough meetings with different groups that really they just need to go watch the YouTube videos. And I'm not trying to be, basically what's happening, you guys, is...
No, I get it. You'd be doing it all day, every day. No,
and that's what I want to comment on. I started this in 2009, and I thought we'd be in this like 3 to 5 years. And I'd be like, okay, we won, done. I was young, I was stupid, so...
Now as an adult, he knows it'll take longer to take over the entire world with his MLM, but still knows it's possible because he's a genius.
So within that, we just like literally April 30th is our 15-year anniversary. This is all I do. So part of the reasons over the last month or so, you know, I've been a little bit less available, partially because my staff is done. So it's just me taking things over again. But part of it is too, I've been the anchor for 15 years. So I'm kind of tired of being the nerd working in the back, doing all the work all the time, whether I'm building a website or whether it's this or that or coaching. I'm still happy to coach all of you, just so you know. None of this, still contact me if you need help. But basically what I'm planning on doing is really scaling back. Honestly, with the exception of you guys that I currently have as clients, my goal is to set this up so I never talk to another person again in real life.
Relatable.
So my goal, like I will, if they're a paying client, I will, but basically I'm 45. I had a son when I was 18, that didn't work out. So I'm watching everyone else raise their, like, spend time with their moms and dads and raise their kids. And it's like, that's partially why sometimes I'm unavailable for a few days, because I'm just dealing with morbid depression on just the fact that this freedom journey has isolated me. None of my friends are in my life from my past. I have 2 friends from the past that we still talk, but they're not day-to-day involved.
If you're upset that you're isolated, why you just say you never want to talk to another real person again?
In my life, my parents and I don't
counter to progress on your interpersonal relationships.
Don't talk. My sisters don't talk. None of my cousins, none of my family. Now,
why did he make it sound like his son died? I don't know. Yeah, his son doesn't talk to him, but he's not dead, to my knowledge.
In all honesty, while there are a lot of wonderful things about French people are also assholes. You can't tell them anything because we know everything already, or we think we do. So
they can be assholes if they give me cheese. That's fine. I'm cool with that. We can watch a Jerry Lewis movie and I'll stuff my face with brie.
And to anyone else here who's partially French, I don't mean that at you. I'm just talking more about my family and stuff. But so my goal now is I really want to beef up. We did upgrade the online university. So there's more videos there now. If you're going through it and there's something on there you don't have an answer to, let me know. And I'm going to start updating my coaching on the website so that each thing that goes through, it's on the website. You guys will always have access to me. I'll honor all agreements we've made to date, and I will still accept some clients in the future. But like you were saying, I need to start having a life because I'm starting to get grumpy and it's affecting my work. So like tomorrow night, for example, I'm going to watch a friend who has a band. I normally never drink, but I'm getting plastered.
I don't know if it's good to plan to get super drunk. As a recovered alcoholic, haven't drank in years, which is nice. planning to get shit-faced is not a great sign. But, whatever. Chief Lord says, so I know part of him must know he's just selling a scam, but what happens in his manic episodes of true belief when he realizes the deep down core of institutionalized power is a monopoly on violence? You are assuming that he is capable of understanding the world as it exists. When he has his episodes, or what appear to be episodes, he feels invincible. He has delusions of grandeur. He thinks he can overcome these things.
I've hired
I would imagine it's more in depressive states where he feels hopeless.
Personal muse who's coming by on Saturday. She's pretty.
Would I own The Day the Clown Cried if it was on Blu-ray? Yes, if only because of the provenance of the story of the film. For those that don't know, The Day the Clown Cried is a Jerry Lewis film that after it was done, he had locked up so no one would ever see it until like 100 years after he died because he considered it so fucked up. You can Google what the movie's about. But yes, I would watch that.
And I'm having a nice Saturday. So I'm at the point I just need to start having a life and having things I'm excited about, or I'm not going to be able to do a good job for you guys. The other thing is, honestly, a lot of you are nicer people than I am at this point. I grew up in Winnipeg. I grew up on the streets. I've fought gangs. I fought police.
Fought gangs and the police.
I don't have all the...
He's been in 500 street fights he's won.
Love and niceness that...
Unfortunately, he's been in like 10,000 street fights, so his like win-loss ratio isn't good, but he's won 500, and that's more than you have.
Normal people do these days. I don't really...
He fought Godzilla and Bambi, and he won both.
Like to life the same way.
Back to back.
So I'm really excited to empower you guys, because honestly, all of you are people that I think are salt of the earth, absolutely fantastic. You all care.
You're salt of the earth, you know. Morons.
You're all putting in real work. So I think it would be easier for you guys to do the paperwork with your friends and family and other...
Has it really been 3 years? God damn, it's been a while. Peep Lord says, man, he should fight Drake.
communities than for me and who I am to keep blowing through numbers of people, because I meet other groups, they love me, and then at a certain point I point out their flaws and they're not happy about it, and I'm like, well, screw you guys, and then it doesn't go anywhere. And we need this to hit critical mass. So things are going great, like numbers wise, we have more clients than we've ever had, but that's where now, rather than just hoarding it, I want to pass that earning power to you guys. I want to make it that you guys have the ability.
I'm going to pass that earning power to you. If anyone says that to you, run away.
For people,
especially if it involves you giving them money for a quote-unquote opportunity to sell. Run! They're scamming you. You are the customer, not the salesperson.
There'll be point of contact for them. Not that you have to have all the answers. The answers are on the website. But if somebody gets stuck and they fire you a question, you can forward it to me, and then I'll answer it for you, and then you can just fire it off to them, or I can send it direct to them, or whatever. We'll find
unexpected blazing saddles.
Fine tune it a little bit as
anything with Gene Wilder.
Go. But anyone who wants to do the foundings for people, just shoot me an email, and then I'll send you the complete freedom booklet that we did in our event. And I also did a live event on YouTube. We have our full founding event on private law trusts. If you go to that, you can even watch that video when you're doing foundings. I read through all the paperwork, everything's there. Really, if I got hit by a bus tomorrow, everything is there that people need. Yeah, so that's where I'm excited for you guys. That should give you the capacity to make at least $2, $3, $4 grand a month, $5 grand a month without really trying too hard. If you can make $500 a sign up kind of thing. And people are happy to pay $1 grand for this.
Are they?
The other reason I'm open to going to do the one-time sign up is honestly a lot of people, not a lot, but we're probably both.
So Charlie was being scammed by Willy Wonka by being given the chocolate factory. 5 minutes after he gave him the factory, OSHA came in, as well as other regulatory agencies, for the illegal import and trafficking of Oompa Loompas, and they said, who's in charge here? And William Wonka pointed to Charlie, and it was true.
50%.
Don't trust men who want to give you factories, children. That's not a thing that happens.
And don't continue their payments. They get the paperwork and they screw off. It was better before. The last month or so, we've had a few people dropping off. So within that, that's why I'm okay with steering.
Isn't that a Family Guy bit? I don't know. Family Guy's been on the air almost as long as The Simpsons was when people started making Simpsons has been on forever jokes, so.
towards
hard to say.
A one-time gift that gets them online coaching through the university site and they're done. That's what most groups do anyway. They have like a course that's a week or 3 weeks. You pay your $3,000, you go to the course, you're done. And that's the template we're going to move a little bit closer to. Within that, I will be in the background. If someone's stuck, I'm not going to leave them hanging. But in general, that's just the step we need to do. And then you guys will have more money, so you'll be happy, financially speaking. And then you guys will be who you're interacting with, people that are your own community standard. So you guys will get along. It'll be great.
Peeplord says, judge fucks government officials, bus fucks judge, government official fucks bus. We got a new game, chat.
Anyone have questions about that?
Hi, Marcel.
Hey, Roxanne. How you doing, dear?
Good, good. So Marcel, I've there's a couple.
Oh shit, she's a horse girl, but not even one that can afford to get an actual image. They got an image from like from some sort of stock image site that still has the watermark.
That I have had talked to a couple weeks ago, and I already given them your number. Like,
okay.
So they were going to contact you.
Do you have a first name?
You couldn't find an image like this without the watermark? Do you not see the watermark?
Gerald and
would this not drive you all crazy?
Yeah, Gerald and
Am I crazy? This is nuts. This is worse than the Subsit shit. Who has a profile picture with a watermark? God, what?
Yeah, to their names.
I don't know. I would have them either. Go ahead, sorry.
I'm just saying that they have your number to contact you.
Okay.
So, is that still good to go, or do
she helps Mike Lindell with the cyber?
Do I have to now do the $1,000 and all the stuff that you were talking about, $500 or whatever?
Basically, like, this is where I'm going to open up a little bit more on just where I'm at in my journey right now. So I'm definitely not going anywhere. I've been doing this for 15 years. I'm all fired up. I am working with a group though, called Out of Pedo Challenge. It's a gentleman named Jason in Calgary. He set up a website. So if you punch in Out of Pedo Challenge, he has a website and he's getting the victims of pedophilia to do statements for the people who abused them, to name them, put their address public where they live now, and prosecute them.
Is he like, hey, making people aware of potential predators in their neighborhood is great. My concern is that the person doing this, if they're working with you as a sovereign citizen, are they vetting those claims at all? Or is it a website for anyone to go on and claim anyone is a pedophile without evidence? 'Cause oh boy, that's rife for misuse. Oh boy.
So it's basically a proactive campaign to go after pedophilia. So the reason I mentioned that, and I realize that that may not seem like it relates, but right now, basically, honestly, I'm kind of dealing with just the emotional damage in my life. What I mean by that is, when I was a kid growing up, I was molested a bit. My stepdad screamed in my face my whole life. When I was about 14, 15, I was basically drugged by gay people. Stuff happened. I didn't know if that made me bi or not. I sold myself for like a year or two to like lawyers and advisors to law firms. And then I decided I didn't want to do that anymore. So I tried blackmailing them for 30 grand. I got charged with extortion. They prosecuted me. Fast forward a year or two, it's what kind of messed up my relationship with the mother of my son a little bit. And then fast forward another year from that, that's when I became a stripper, and just lots of different stuff. So
I'm just absorbing. Give me a sec. All right. Woo! Pushing past it. We're pushing past it. We're pushing past it.
Doing the Out of Pedo Challenge and the interview I'm about to do with them, for the last week or so, the last probably 3-4 days, I haven't been answering the phone. I am still logging down messages. Like, I have people calling in and I will get back to them. I am still going to be signing people up. Like, I'm authorizing you guys to start doing the events, but these are all people that I've already
He did say he was a stripper.
Explain this to, that I'm just waiting to get their cash to pay. I have lead things here. So I have tons of leads. So if people, so basically, long story short, Roxanne, if you want to get them to call me, you can. By next week, I'll be functional. I'll be getting back to the people who have called and that. But over the last 4 days to about a week and a half, I've been more reactive. Anything that's an emergency, I'm still taking care of clients and stuff. And part of why I'm sharing all of this with you guys as well is I am an expert at this stuff. I know society stuff. I have the answers you need. I did the work.
I don't think you are. Everything you're saying is wrong, and your bank account got closed.
But it has taken a toll on me. So you may hear, like, I'm very open. I tell some people to F off, this and that. If people interacted with me in a way that triggers my trauma, I can't deal with that, or them. I just can't put up with it. And I won't absorb their energy at this point. Because if I do, then over time, I'll become dangerous and I'll go punch out a cop in a week because I'm holding back feelings from somebody else.
Oh God, he's
So if they tried calling me, Roxanne, and I didn't answer, I'm sorry about that. If they want to try calling next week, I will be answering the calls that come in again as of next week. But
yeah, I don't know if they've tried to call you yet. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Is it okay? Should I be contacting them now and saying, okay, Marcel's not available, we have to do this ourselves now? Or
that's what I would encourage you to do, just to put that $500 in your own pocket. You know what I mean? And your
Peeplord says, this isn't how you become bi. I became bi by being bitten by a radioactive femboy.
Friends and family will probably have a better experience if you are who coaches them, because you know them.
And so how come they wouldn't just pay the $90?
Because for the events,
because I would like $1,000. That's why
we're not offering
that. Okay, because they probably won't go for that. They were good with the $90, but like the $90 a month.
Well, basically, and again, I don't know your friends, so don't take this personally. And
here's the thing: usually, if you do like a year membership, it's less than the month-to-month rate, but he's done the opposite. Instead of $90 a month, which would be less than $1,000 over the course of a year, or right at roughly 90 plus 90 plus 90. Someone do the math on that. It should be cheaper to get it all at once, but it's not. It's at least about the same.
A bunch of people on
a little bit more
$90 a month plan do pay every month. So I have a bunch of clients that are absolutely fantastic, and I love you.
$10.80 a year. Okay, so I guess it is slightly cheaper by $80. It's still not enough.
But honestly, if somebody doesn't have if $90 is all they can afford, they're probably going to last for 3 or 4 months and then not pay me.
But that's better than having no one sign up. He's so bad at business. He's so bad at business. Even if you didn't have people stick around, continually having more people come in and pay the $90 a month and having more turnover, but more people coming into the system would be better for you as a business. Now, this is a scam, so I don't want him to succeed, but holy shit, he doesn't understand the basics of, like, consumer behavior? Like, what?
So I'm kind of at the point, with all due respect, people who don't have $1,000 can pretty much go fuck themselves and go cut some lawns until they have $1,000 to pay us.
He thinks he's owed everyone else's money. If you can't afford to give me $1,000 right now, go get another job, loser, is what he's saying. That's nuts. That's so selfish. That's narcissistic that you assume other people need and demand they go and do things so you can do this? What in the world? DM Trey says, I am screaming in government regulation. And there is a link that goes to Elon Musk's Neuralink reports trouble with first human brain chip. Oh no! Some of the threads have become displaced in the brain. Who could have seen this coming? Everyone.
But then that's on me too, because I told them it was $90 a month. Now I got to go back to them and tell them it's like...
I think we're seeing in real time how Marcel alienates himself from all of his customers and acquaintances.
$500, $1,000. So,
well, again, if you want them to enroll through me, I will go through that process with them. Like the people I already have as leads, I'm still going to be reaching out to. I'm still keeping those plans for the people who are already in the door. So if to honor your word to them, Roxanne, you want them to go through me for the 90 a month, we can still do that.
Okay, but I'll tell them just to wait off a couple of weeks then to contact you then. Just
next week
give
or
me
the
some
week
time.
after. Yeah, next
Yeah.
week or the week after, and I'll be right as rain again. Like
Okay.
I'm used to the ebbs and flows, but I just want you guys to understand a little bit about my history so you understand my ebbs and flows. I'm 100% solid. I'm not going anywhere. But now I don't
maybe jail.
My staff, I'm doing the work myself, and it's like so that's why I just and I really do want you guys to have earning power with this. You know, with the society, there's no limit to what you can make. Most of you are probably too timid, but like for me, I got into the weed industry. I was making 200 grand a year at weed. Anyone who wants it, I can give you guys a website that you can get $400 pounds all day, every day. Now, I'm not telling you to go do it, okay? And if you do it, don't tell the bank about it. But there's literally
don't tell the bank about my black market weed sales, because he does. For those who don't know, I don't know if he still does, but Marcel has been in the growing and distribution of marijuana, which I don't have a problem with the growing, distribution, or use of marijuana, obviously. I use it myself from time to time. It's quite fun. He's avoiding taxes, though. It's sort of a gray market in the sense that it's not legal to possess, but he has been, at some point, maybe still is, growing it and selling it under the table without involving tax authorities. In Canada, weed is legal, but it is a taxed good that has regulations for safety and, of course, for reasons of like, hey, we want to make sure you're not putting anything toxic on this, you know? Stuff like that.
No limit to ways that you guys can make money, and under private law you can do just about whatever you want as long as you're not hurting anybody. So basically just anyone who needs help brainstorming ways to make money, if you want to run a food program, you want to sell some chocolates, whether you want to do events, you want to go sell some weed, whatever you want to do, I have systems in place. And that's where I just want to,
if you have a system that works for anything, you have a system that works for nothing. If you're claiming that broad utility, I doubt it has any utility. I have to use the bathroom. I will be back in a second. We'll continue with this video. I've returned. Thanks for your patience. Appreciate it, chat.
make sure you guys have what you need to be able to go make money at this, because there's no reason you shouldn't. And initially I was focusing on the setup stage of things, and most of the people on this call are past that now. So that's where now I'm just really moving over into the financial side of things, because I do want you guys to thrive and make money at this. Absolutely. Yeah. But yes, if you've referred somebody to me and they're on the lead list, either get them to refollow up, but I will still be enrolling people with the plans we have up right now. The event thing is just kind of something new that we're doing, because I want you guys to be able to do it. And just so you know, the reason I'm doing the events for you guys is because the online university will be there coaching, but you guys are not, technically there's no coaching included personally with that plan except for the university. So you guys don't have to answer all the questions to what they may have. And if they want extra coaching, it will be.
So they're giving you $1,000 for what then, if it doesn't include the coaching that's with the $90 a month thing? Now the coaching is useless anyway, but you at least think it has utility. So what are they getting If not that.
Be available, but they'll pay extra for it. That might be where if they want ongoing coaching, then it's the 90
He doesn't
bucks.
think about his business plans at all. Like, I'm not a business person. I don't like business stuff, but even I recognize this is bad. This is a bad way to do it. Your offerings are terrible. The value proposition is shit on the face of it, even if you believed all this stuff. What are you doing?
A month just for the coaching.
I've never been happier he's incompetent, because holy shit, can you imagine if he priced this appropriately for the scam level it is? He'd have so many more marks he'd be hurting. Like, it sucks anyway, don't get me wrong. It sucks a lot that he has any marks, but still, could be worse.
After they shell out the $1,000. And some people, if they have like a big business or things like that, we may even go 5-10 grand for the society for them, depending on what their purpose is.
We might even go 5-10 grand. He's going the opposite direction. See what I mean? He's like, it's like he doesn't understand, like, how demand is affected by price. Like, he doesn't understand that the higher he makes the price, the lower the hypothetical demand. He doesn't understand, like, the chart where there's the crossing between the supply and demand. You know what I'm talking about? And, like, consumer interest. I don't know. I don't think he's thought about how any of this stuff intersects in, like, a system.
Bizarre, but for your average mom and dad, just opening a society, $1,000, all good.
It's like in his brain, he just goes, if I charge more, I get more money. And he doesn't think, well, yeah, fewer people will be interested, though.
Issues that the United States, the U.S. people were having with the banks.
So the
Can it be
issue,
a credit union or does it have to be a bank?
it doesn't really matter, but the issue is in the States, they want an EIN number. Now in Canada, we don't need an EIN number. And technically in the States, you don't either, but all of the banks have banded together and in their electronic computer system, they have a screen you can't get past if you don't have an EIN.
Thank you for the follow. Appreciate it.
So they're basically being shady. The international standards of operation for banking are the same everywhere. So the fact that a private law, unregistered, unincorporated society is being compelled to get an EIN number to get their bank account is a crime. Like they shouldn't be able to do it.
You have to have an EIN.
Everything I don't like is a crime.
I get-
That's
yeah.
how the world works. I'm a child.
Number for tax purposes too, don't you?
But
when
the
you
society is non-taxable.
register your society.
You don't register your
Right.
society though.
With
You shouldn't have to.
religious exemption.
You know, like a fraud.
And that's what we're
Okay.
using. That's the exemption in the States. There's a specific code for it. And if you need it, I can give it to you off the Zoom or whatever, but I have that for you. And that's what people are doing now. They're just applying for it basically makes you your own religion as far as the standing goes. And then through that.
The 5-0.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mark. It doesn't want. Never mind. I gotta get a megaphone that doesn't do that for my bits.
But you do that with all
Sorry, I learned everything I know about sound engineering from the Polte event.
rights reserved still under sovereign law.
What do you want me to look up, Peep Lord, for the Black's Law Dictionary?
But that's the only issue in the States is
And
they
a
won't
hydrate.
open the unincorporated society bank account unless you have an EIN, which is horseshit.
So
I'm officially, I
will
guess,
have
just
to
swearing in this meeting, you guys. I usually try not to swear in meetings, but yeah, I held off smoking a
F
joint
that.
all day to make sure I was crisp for you guys. But the side effect of that is now I have a little Tourette's going.
Incompetent? Okay, I can look that up.
So I will have to get an EIN number for.
If you're going to do the bank account, or you can, like for me right now, I have my website set up and I just deposit it into my personal account and I'm not paying them tax on it either way. I don't have to. But for the society
because
account
personally
in the States,
you've held out.
well,
Because
again,
personally you've held out.
well, I've had
as
a
religious
society
exemption.
bank account for over a decade with TD. We've done it with Royal Bank. We've done it with CIBC. I just set up the personal account right now because I'm sick of dealing with banks about this.
Incompetency, lack of ability, knowledge, legal qualification, or fitness to discharge the required duty or professional obligation. A relative term which may be employed as meaning disqualification, inability, or incapacity, and it can refer to lack of legal qualifications or fitness to discharge the required duty and show want of physical or intellectual or moral fitness. See also guardian, incapacity, insanity, non-compos mentis, compare, competency.
Stuff like I've per week, I'm probably talking to 10 to 20 bankers for different people opening their societies. And I'm just ready to be really rude with them and tell them where to shove it. Like, I'm just sick of bankers. So that's why I just opened up a personal account for right now. I will get a proper society account set up again. But for me, I'm not allowed at RBC, CIBC.
I thought he was about to say I'm not allowed at Arby's. I was like, I believe it. I don't know why, but I believe you've been banned for the Arby's.
Royal Bank or BMO because I threatened to litigate them all because they're fraud. So I've burned bridges with 4 of the major banks because of the fact I stand up to them regarding the sovereignty side of things, and they're literally criminal in what they do. So but that's why I just went to another bank, got a personal account for now. But I will set up another society account. It's just a matter of me deciding I want to, and having the patience to go in and talk to them without swearing at them because they're dumb.
He's gonna get arrested at a bank, isn't he?
So if you were to get, so Canada doesn't have EIN numbers? Is that what you're saying?
Businesses have business number, and technically I don't know, business in Canada, you just have a business number.
That's what an EIN is.
Okay.
Whatever your registration number is for your business.
And that's the social security number for the society or the business, right?
It's an employer identification number. It is the number you use for, yes, identification to the IRS and other entities about what business you are as an entity that collects and withholds taxes from employees.
EIN number, because I had one when we were working on Tatarka Tools and Design, but I would have to get with my sister and see if that's still a thing.
Like in Canada, we have the social insurance numbers, which are equivalent to your social security number. But I've opened lots of businesses. I've opened sole proprietorships and full corporations, and I've never had to have any kind of number for the business other than the registration number.
So I can still work for a different employer and they would pay the society and I would be a volunteer for the society.
Again, you're describing fraud. You're describing fraudulently acting as though your personal bank account is a nonprofit account and having your paycheck or income deposited into it as if it is funds of a nonprofit. That's fraud. You are describing fraud, like felony fraud against the federal government.
But the
not a good thing. Not a good thing to do.
Yes, you're the signatory for this.
As long as I can get the EIN and get my bank account set up, because I couldn't legally take money from an employer and drop it into my own personal account when they're paying NTEC, say, the society.
Well, you're the signatory for your society, so I personally do that. I have people put, like right now, because our society account's closed, it goes straight into my personal account, but I'm the signatory. I'm an emperor of my own society. I can do whatever I want. Like if I want to spend...
He's an emperor. You're fucked.
And every penny I could. I don't. I'm not interested in it. But yeah, it doesn't really matter. As long as you can physically get your money out, the chain of command for that really doesn't matter because the whole legal system's a fraud. You have no obligation to a fraud. Like if anyone ever tries stepping up to me about anything, I'm like, I'm signatory to it. And if you want to really cover your bases, I would just do a letter of authorization from your society to yourself that you can accept funds on behalf of the society in your personal account.
Yep,
I wrote a letter that says my fraud against the federal government is okay. So it's okay.
Have that.
Yeah, so then you're good. Yep.
Is there
the only issue would be is if you get a check written to you to your society name that you have to cash, the bank would not accept that in your personal account, I don't think.
I see.
Like if you went to a teller, if you deposited through the ATM, you might be able to finagle it through, but
right. Is there some kind of issue with the EIN number that you're afraid of?
Well, you just shouldn't need it. That's my opposition to it. In Canada,
It makes it harder for me to commit fraud.
we don't require it. So them making you get
It's
it in the
just more
States, you never
tracking
used
and
to need it.
everything.
It basically, they're trying to register you in their system under their tax code, and they can kiss our ass. We don't have to be under their tax code.
You do if you don't want to go to jail.
Like, and that's where your society refutes it anyway. So if you get the EIN number with all rights reserved, that exempts you from the taxation issues anyway. And because of the type of 50 that you're getting, you're technically your own religion and it's tax exempt anyway, even from having to do filings. And there's Alliance of Indigenous Nations is a group that I work with. They're a full sovereign nation, and that's how they have their bank accounts in the States. So that's how we're able to confirm it for sure works for sovereignty in this way. But yeah, in my mind, you shouldn't need the EIN number. So that's my issue with it. We never used to need them, and then they've implemented that now.
You think maybe they've implemented them in part because of people like you who do their best to defraud the system so you don't have to pay your fair share of taxes?
Which is just bullshit, basically. Like,
got it.
Yeah,
I understand. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem, man. You betcha. Oh, and then something else, I've hired a website guy to build fullsovereign.org. So that's going to be our store. So any of you on here who have products, services, things you're offering through your society, if you're doing landscaping in your neighborhood, if you have a product you sell, you bead, you make earrings, natural...
It's going to be Sobsit, Temu, beautiful.
Soaps, whatever you're doing, we're happy to list those for you in fullsovereign.org.
It's going to be drop shipping garbage.
So that's another way that anything you're doing for a service or a product, if you want to promote it, by all means, the gentleman's building that. He started that right away. And I'm just reading what Francis is saying here. He's just saying one-time payment for full founding documents. This gives prospects no excuse not to join. Your paperwork is sound. Marcel, you provide amazing material, and I'm grateful to you to have met you personally. I fully understand where you were at. Once I get back home, things will start flying. Okay, cool. And just so you guys know, I paid him $20 to say nice things about me. I'm joking. I didn't pay him anything. But yeah, so in general, I just want you all to know that everything that I've been through in my life, coaching you guys,
I didn't consider that, but now part of my brain is going, did he hire that guy on Fiverr to say nice things about him? Remember when he used to hire actors from Fiverr?
Coaching you makes it worth it. I'm the happiest I have been all day today interacting with you guys. I really do love this work. And I just want to make sure that we...
For those who don't know, Fiverr is like a gig website where you can offer services to people for whatever amount of money and do it, you know.
We can all get...
Like, I'll act in your little YouTube thing for whatever. I'll do a short voiceover for you. I'll edit your script or whatever, you know, any sort of gig work you can think of.
It out there. And quite frankly, as far as having beautiful hearts and souls, your guys's who are here are even better than my own. And that's why I really feel it would be the best service for you guys to reach out to your own communities and people around you and do the events, because they know you. They don't know me. To them, I'm just another stranger, probably trying to sell them. Does it work? Does it not? They don't know, right? But with you guys already doing the process, the only thing is you have to have your society founding done. That's the only thing, just so you guys have done the paperwork. But once that's through, it doesn't even have to be the 50 days. Let me know. And then you guys are basically authorized, even if it's just one-on-one or an event or whatever at your home. But you guys have the ability to start doing that basically.
What about business cards? Like if we're able to drop business cards, do you have something that we can have printed or you can send us?
Yeah, so basically I have it, and you can place orders for us. I think I actually have it in.
Okay. That's about halfway through this video. Oh my goodness.
Quite intently, but she said her husband would have nothing to do with it. Get my hand.
They squish you.
I was going to say I'm done, but I want to hear what this lady has to say before we call it a night.
Before the Magna Carta.
What?
And the Magna Carta was not valid when it was signed because the king was disinherited when he tried to sign rights to the people, because it was the Vatican Church that owned it. And everything in the legal system, the whole legal personhood.
Peep Lord says, for my electricity peeps, I think I'm going to start a woo Sobsit 440 volt frequency exposure electric universe conspiracy. Big Pharma doesn't want you to know about the healing power in your power box. The strongest healing power is industrial power. That's why they post all the scary signs and keep keep them behind big fences. You know, since a specific lizard queen told me I can't do voter suppression legislation.
system, the patent is owned by the Vatican Church. And that's why no political party is going to change it. No politician's going to change it because they're all someone's bitch. It's like being a prospect in HA and think you're going to tell the leader of HA how the gang's going to run. Good luck. Good luck. He'll knock you out. And that's the good heart where they're at. And it outranks their legal authority. If you can them, outranks police.
Marcel?
Yes, please.
I can't get my hand to stay up. It gets tired, I guess.
No worries. Nice to see you, my dear. How are you today?
Good.
Good.
I have 2 questions.
Sure.
And a comment. I think I should go after Polyev to get into society here.
Yes, absolutely.
Anyway, the first question I have is I'm still working on my paperwork.
Yep.
And is it the upgraded or is it the one that you were going to upgrade? You said there was a couple of glitches in the first one.
Oh, the what we're doing is the mentorship agreement is what I'm updating, but the paperwork for founding is fine.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Then I'm good. All
Go
right.
ahead.
Second question.
Yes.
I was talking to a friend of mine who's married.
Okay.
And she was listening quite intently, but she said her husband would have nothing to do with it.
Yep.
So I said, well, you're you're an island unto yourself.
Yep.
Right? So she can go ahead and do this with.
Oh my God, is this going to lead to a divorce?
Without him.
Yeah, irrelevant. Yeah.
Awesome.
And any assets under the society are protected if the marriage ever dissolves.
Nope.
Well, I doubt that.
Marcel is so myopic. Nothing will ever change or get better unless you give me money.
I'm sure
that's actually not true for him, but it is true for me.
We'll be together forever. I'm not rooting for that. I'm just mentioning that for general financial planning for people.
Man, I wish I would have known that before last year.
I understand.
Oh, man.
I get you. And
is that guy just telling everyone he got divorced?
And I just want to say on
shocking, can't imagine why.
Because I know I've been a little bit sharing the frustration of this month, but I want you all to know I'm so proud of all of you. You all care, you're doing the steps, like you guys are why I do this work. And just thank you all for caring and just being really, really cool, good people and doing it for the right reasons. And yeah, just, yeah. Because the real reason I do this work, just so everyone knows, has nothing to do with money. This is my
get fucked, Marcel.
Revenge against the system for screwing up my family.
You screwed up your family.
End of the day. And as someone who grew up on the streets, I like that I can mess with the powers that be because I don't like authority. So those are the 2 main reasons I do this. And every single one of you are good, loving people. You love your family members.
We're glad you're here.
Thank you, Rusty. Appreciate you too, man. Appreciate you too. I don't know.
I have a question, Marcel.
Yes. Yeah, we'll open it up to questions. Yeah. So go ahead, Ellen, and then anyone else. And same thing in your own journey. If you have questions.
Oh no, it's already up. Fullsovereign.com. Oh boy. Sorry, it's a .org. Of course it is, because they think they're organizations. They're whatever. Shop. They have stuff on their shop page yet? Oh my god, the Love Pod. Global Wi-Fi! This is a technology developed by the First Nations, originally designed for the purpose of bringing internet connectivity to reservations. Indigenous communities have suffered from a lack of infrastructure, especially internet, and even when some options... It's a Wi-Fi hotspot, basically. The Wi-Fi hotspot. Great. Awesome. How much does it cost to get a Wi-Fi hotspot? Hold on. Is this just an overpriced drop-shipped thing? Give me a sec. Let me see how much a Wi-Fi hotspot. Wi-Fi hotspot. Oh yeah, you can get one for $20. I'm not saying it's as good as this one, or if whatever. But basically this looks like a drop-shipped, or maybe even not drop-shipped, but some kind of bulk Wi-Fi hotspot thing that they bought and then put their logo on, or put this logo on. Oh, he's been scamming indigenous people for a while. That's like a big part of his MO.
Questions about
Sorry
your
if you didn't
paperwork
know
or
that. It's a bummer.
and we'll just
Yeah, he's been involved and gotten involved in indigenous groups before and lied to them and taken their money, and then they had a falling out because obviously they found out he's a fraud.
get it back to coaching now. I think I've done all my updates. So go ahead, Alan.
Okay.
Sorry, First Nations.
Ken, the gentleman that you were talking about in Ontario, whereabouts in Ontario is he?
Chatham.
Oh, really? Okay.
I don't know where that is, but I haven't memorized. That's where he is. Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right.
All right. That's enough, Marcel. We're done for the day. I can't believe he gets away with as much scamming as he does. It's depressing.
Signaling.
All right, have a good night, everyone. I'll be back tomorrow with Chud Watch. It's been a while, so we definitely need to do that. Love you too, Mr. Blast, and I will see the rest of you later. Have a great night, and all that goes with it. Bye.